legends collide. Got my friends beside me, we're ready to ride. With every step we take, we're feeling alive. Fearless in the epic, together we thrive. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. From the jungle to lanes, we're making our mark. With strategies tight, we're igniting the spark. Enemies tremble, they can't break our flow. In this world of champions, we steal the show. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. So here's to the battles, the wins and the falls. Together we stand, we'll conquer it all. No fear in our hearts, just the thrill of the game. In this epic journey, we'll rise to fame. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. Chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind. We're fearless, we're bold, chasing dreams, breaking the mold. With every fight, we rise and shine in this game. We're one of a kind.
Right. Welcome everyone to the start of Fearless Season 3. We've got our first match here. Sluggers Disciples versus the Bagpuss Lovers. It's looking to be an interesting matchup right from the get-go. What are your thoughts on the matchup, Gallant?
I think you just have to look at the predictions that the members have made. 44% for Bagpuss Lovers to 56 for Sluggers Disciples. Extremely close.
And it was close the entire day as well, like pretty much 50-50 most of the day. Honestly, I think our premier matchup as well here is probably the top lane with Left Terrace Perfect Form versus Mr. Clisty. I think that's gonna look to be an interesting matchup with some shared champion pools as well, and both very good players during the respective seasons they played.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Mr. Clisty played in Season 1. I remember his Volibear. Very impressive. He absolutely destroyed me. Same with Perfect Form, though. He has almost an equally as impressive Volibear. So I think we're going to be looking at that pick as a very important one.
I still have some nightmares from, I don't remember if it was a stage game or a scrim, but Lefteris on his Pantheon absolutely running us down one game. uh, Besides that, there's some other interesting looking players. I think the Hunt and Newcomer here, Afelio's main. I played against him in the last Friday tournament on a Saturday. His Aphelios is mean. That's all I've got to say there. That man kind of carried the game a little bit hard on that pick. See if he actually gets to get it today, or if he will be denied the entire series. Do you have any other interesting players to look at, Gallant, here, or what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think you'd have to look at Snow for Bagpuss lovers. He is their captain. I think he'll be able to lead them to victory. Honestly, that is my prediction. Perhaps a hot take, but I
Perhaps
think
a bit biased.
maybe because I was teammates with him in season 2, as well as Minost of the same team. But I think his Aurelia is just so insane, and he makes very great plays on the side lane. I think with the right setup, um, I think he can make some incredible plays, and I do believe he does have the right setup with this team. Um, I think he definitely has some pre-built synergy with Mr. Clisty, for example. Tom, I think he's played before, and Minost, of course, on the same team in season 2.
That is very true. Tom last season playing for BTEC, having a little bit of a rough time there coming in last. I hope he gets to do better because honestly, he played very well in a lot of the games and tried to pull it back almost single-handedly in a lot of those games. Likewise for Sluggers Disciples, I think Gwynny, very interesting player coming in. Filling in for Fearless last season for Mismatch. 1 or 2 games, was it? During Mismatch's injury time. It was very interesting, honestly, seeing him play jungle and now transitioning to mid here, playing a lot of Phil in solo queue. For those new to Fearless, however, the rules. Fearless means you only get to play your champion one time during a series. So let's say if Bagpuss Lovers today's ends up in game 1 blue siding B1ing Volibear, that means Volibear is out for the rest of the series. If let's say Tristana gets picked, out for the rest of the series as well. So if that goes to game 3, looks very interesting. You want to lead on to some of the other rules related to Fearless, Gallant, here?
Yeah, so you can ban a champion one time, but you can't do it for the rest of the series. So this means that this Volibear pick, who will likely be very high prio, it might get banned game 1, probably by the red side team in that case. But then for the rest of the series, it's completely open. So then it will basically be decided by who picks the pick away. So this just means that these particularly high prio picks for certain players, like maybe you're a main. I'm very glad this rule exists because I main Set, and if it didn't exist, then I would probably never get to play him. So yeah.
That is, it also brings the way we've done the bans here during our Fearless, version of Fearless is very interesting because it brings a different strategy to the draft as well. You have to consider, when do we actually want to ban this? Does it matter currently for this game? Will this pick be a problem this game? Do we want to save the ban for another game? Or do we not ban it and it gets picked right away so we don't get to ban it? It leads to a lot of different diversity, honestly, which is nice to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just very excited to see the top lane matchup coming in here. Yeah, we're going to the video where we will be explaining it a little bit more now.
Welcome to another season of Fearless. 22 teams will venture onto the rift across 3 divisions. In the lower division, 6 teams battle for supremacy in a round-robin of best-of-threes over 5 weeks. The top 2 teams advance straight to the semifinals, while teams 3 through 6 clash for the remaining spots. Semifinals will decide who fights for the lower bracket crown and who claims the final podium spot in the mid and high brackets. 7 weeks of best of 3s will determine the top 4 finalists. Just like the lower bracket, the top 4 will face it out to decide finalists. And in all divisions, the grand finals and third place matches are best of 5s, where resilience and ingenuity are put to the ultimate test. Who will become the Season 3 Fearless Champions and follow on from the ELO Submarines and Motorola Esports. Make sure you tune in for all the upcoming matches and subscribe to the League of Friends YouTube channels to find out more.
And it looks like we're hopping right into draft as well. There's been some interesting picks. Let's see. Sluggers Disciples with the Pantheon first pick, presumably going top lane, pairing it with a Zac and a Yasuo. Zac, of course, providing some knockups for the Yasuo. On the other side, is that a bot lane Yasuo then? With the Vex coming in. On the other side, we've got very heavy ball comp with a Seraphine Karma bot lane, presumably, unless the Yone ends up going top with a Skarner jungle. Let's see how this plays out. Do you have any thoughts here, Gallant, on the draft so far?
Yeah, I think from Bagpuss lovers, it's sort of what we expected with them playing sort of team fighty ball comps with the APC. It's how they've played with Tom before in Season 2. So I think they're definitely going to know how to play this kind of T-comp.
It's very fair. It's also a lot simpler of a comp to execute, I would think. It's a lot of grouping up, staying together, double enchanter with 1 DPS at a front line, compared to a team comp which is a lot shorter range, providing some displacement for the Yasuo, providing some knockups. However, I do think it'll be a little bit difficult for the Yasuo to actually be as strong as it can be against the Skarner. I think that will end up making the matchup for him a little bit hard later on.
Yeah, Sluggers Disciples, on the other hand, definitely not an easy draft to play. I would say more combo. I think this shows right out the gate that they're trying to try out more difficult comps to try to grow as a team. Even in game 1, as we're beginning. And it'll be interesting to see if they can pull it off.
Very true. Last pick coming in with the Aatrox, providing some extra frontline and damage as well for the ball comp. It looks like it will be a little bit of a split push and pick comp for my thoughts from Sluggers Disciples with the Vex ulti, with Zac coming out of Vision, with Pantheon ulti, compared to the Bagpuss lovers who will just want to end up grouping up. But they will, however, need a lot more time. Sluggers Disciples will have a team comp where they can have a lot more action early on and won't need to rely as much on experience and items, where the Bagpuss lovers will need to hit 2 to 3 items to be at their peak performance. Let's see how this game plays out. I'm interested.
Absolutely. I think I would favor Bagpuss lovers probably. Now that in the beginning the teams aren't as comfortable playing with each other just yet, I think playing easy comps is gonna sort of give you the easy wins in the beginning, but we'll see. Maybe I'm proven wrong.
I think it'll end up having to depend on how well they perform the early lanes for Sluggers Disciples. They definitely have a lot of opportunities in lanes where they can win early on. Also, gotta note, just like last season, Tom coming in with a bot lane mage again. Very common for him, which does provide a lot of diversity for his team as well. And just no standard AD carry in this game either, just in general, which is very interesting to see right away.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. So the contested picks which we were seeing, Volley Bear, we thought were just going to be a heavy contested pick. Both top laners play it. One of the junglers plays at Random Potato. That got banned. The Hunts Aphelios also banned. It's that'll also provide a lot of interesting things for game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think this means, I could be wrong, but I think with almost certainty, the blue side team will first pick Volibear on the next game. And obviously the loser gets the choice of the side. So I think the loser will pick blue side and pick Volibear first pick, but we'll see.
Potentially, yeah. That is definitely an option. I'm also a little surprised to see for both teams a strong pick like a Jin Zhao not getting picked up this early on in the series either. With the state that champion is in currently and how omnipresent it is in pro play, I would have not been surprised to see it come out game 1 here, but another interesting option left for the other games.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the
Looking at this top lane matchup, I think it is definitely more a skill matchup. I think Pantheon does have the edge a little bit because you can E the Qs pretty damn easily, but it just depends. Like the very early levels, is Pantheon able to get the lead? Otherwise, I think Aatrox can kind of just run away with it.
very, very true. I think it's going to be a fist fight into the top lane regardless.
Absolutely. Yep.
I think bot lane will end up being fairly calm for the most part, unless unless we have jungle interferes. I think bot lane's just going to end up being a lot of farming and a lot of mostly calmness. And mid lane, I think it's going to end up being Yone will want to survive the early lane against the Vex range. Vex with her anti-melee, the fear as well, of course, very makes a lot easier for her to survive if Yone does jump on her, and with the ultimate providing a lot of time to roam as well, and a lot more flexibility. Pairing that also with the Pantheon ulti, I would expect some bot lane plays post 6 though.
Yeah, I think the success of the blue side draft will depend on the Yasuo. If the red side bot lane is just kind of able to defend and survive until late game where they all are able to ball up, I think like they're just gonna have the edge no matter what against Yasuo.
I think the very important thing to note, however, is the value and the importance of the Yasuo wind wall here. It will end up being able to provide a lot of utility against the entirety of their bot lane and potentially some of Yone's Q3s as well. He must not be far off of actually going into game now. Let's see, how long do we have left? Let us see. I expect only like another 2 to 3 minutes tops here. Let's see
Yeah,
how this goes.
maybe in the meantime we could talk about Skarner because I thought this champion was just completely trash. But do you think it's still good in like semi-pro circumstances?
Yeah, I think it's still a good champion in or more organized play. It still provides a lot of the same things it did before. It is a little bit less tanky, but I don't think it hinders the champion too much. I think it is still in a completely fine state, especially like I said, for organized play. Um, he was completely unkillable before. He's a little bit killable now, but considering the main damage uh, on the team of Sluggers Disciple is going to have to be the Yasuo, which is short range. Skarner likes that, so I think he's going to actually end up being a very, very strong champion in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I remember last season it was completely disgusting how OP it was. It was just first pick
Don't
every
remind
single
me.
game.
Don't remind me. I hated playing the champion. I don't know if you remember, but seeing this, but I was not a big Skarner enjoyer myself last season, so we ended up flexing it a lot with top lane, with my former top laner who is currently captaining another team, no longer jailed in top lane, Michael. You're free to roam in the wild jungle now.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as your heart desires. And there we go, we're in game. As far as I can tell from the start here, we're looking at a fairly defensive lineup from both teams. Just a very standard 5-man defensive point line.
The beautiful Ionian Champions or Summoner's Rift. Do you like it better than Noxus?
I do like the blue map more than the red map, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it fits League. I don't know. It just kind of hurts my eyes.
I like the color scheme more.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do hope we will get some fist fights in the top lane here. Ignite, I think, is a very, very wise choice from Perfect Form. Since, like I said, I think it's going to be the early levels that decide, not how the game goes at all, but like, if it's going to be easy or hard for the Pantheon.
It depends on how Pantheon can manage his mana, mostly, I think, compared to Aatrox having to manage his health bar.
Ooh, Snow already losing a trade there. That's unlike him.
Bot lane, not much happening so far. Top lane, not yet a fist fight. No, as I say that. Pantheon's bone plating does get procced. Nice sidestep.
Yeah. I think Perfect Form has the advantage here. Yep.
And Ignite for Flash. That is a nice start to the lane for the Pantheon. With the range advantage in bot lane being pushed to level 2, makes a lot of sense as well. Range advantage in mid lane, very much the same story. We have to note the summoner difference in bot lane. The Hunt running teleport on Yasuo versus Tom on Seraphine not running teleport and running barrier instead.
Yeah, I mean, I think just added survivability is going to be important. I think it's smart.
I mean, teleport provides a lot of survivability as well, I have to say.
Yeah, just in a different way.
Yeah, you can get poked down in lane, teleport back with some fresh items, some fresh health bar. Not a fresh mana bar in this case. Big chunk from the Vex here. Looks like the Yone is struggling a little bit in this early lane. We'll probably have to end up burning his teleport early. Which I would expect for this matchup, though. Winnie taking a tower shot, mana bar looking fine still. Both laners having burned both their potions. Top lane also all potions burned. There is a slight CS advantage in the bot lane for Tom currently. I expect that to close a little bit with the wave bouncing here, or crashing, rather.
Ooh, looks like Skarner might get caught out here.
Yeah, looking that way. Good work for the solo laners. Good work for the solo laners collapsing, and maybe Yone also ends up dying here, having to burn his flash at least.
Yeah, but definitely really great heads-up play there by Perfect Form. I think as a top laner, it takes a lot to actually roam out of your lane, concede lane pressure, but he did that expertly there, and it netted them a kill.
Yeah, and he's, I gotta say, for the mana-hungry champion that he is, he's managing his mana bar really well as well. Which leaves him in a really good lane state here still. Zac coming in.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be anything.
missing everything. Unfortunate. I could have seen them being a little bit more patient and diving the Aatrox potentially. They could still potentially do so here.
I think they are just wasting their time, to be honest. But they did get the wave pushed in, so they're fighting in the bot lane here.
The Hunt missing his Tornado. I think the Hunt... Ooh,
Oh, nice E, nice E. Oh, perfect form, setting a trap here. I don't think he has kill pressure though. His Ignite has...
No, considering his level, he is also got a level disadvantage, which this early on especially matters a lot. Nice little break though, still. Yeah, so having teleported back to lane, we'll get there a little bit earlier. Let's see what the wave. Aatrox also teleporting back to lane after everything that's gone down so far. Aatrox actually with a slight CS advantage and XP advantage from the Pantheon roam. Big CS difference in the jungle though.
Yeah,
with the Zac being up about 3 camps here.
Yeah, and Skarner going for Drake now too, which is gonna put him behind even more. I think it's smart though, knowing that his sort of ball team comp is going to rely on the Drakes and setting up in the Dragon Pit heavily. I think having the pressure of the Drake so is really, really important.
I agree. Nice roam from Minoste, burning the flash from Vex. Vex going back in.
Oh, Snow though. No flash on Vex. No, he's backing up.
So that's ulti for ulti plus a flash burn. Very nice. Honestly, very nice play from Winnie. Yeah, going back on the Dragon play, I fully agree. I think the win condition for the Bagpuss lovers requires a lot more time, and then getting an early Drake means they actually end. That buys them an extra 5 minutes, which is quite big.
Yeah. And as you just saw, oh, a kill in mid lane there. Nice from Zac. Skarner has to just back off. He might even get killed here. Very close. Oh my goodness! Oh! Random Potato already showing great proficiency on the Zac pick. Beautiful. Alright, well, a bit of a lead going for Sluggers Disciples here. I think they're very much going to enjoy that. They have yet to use Yasuo, but I'm sure it's coming.
Interesting little trade here. Aatrox using his level advantage quite well.
Yeah,
pressure a lot more here with the
Zac
Zac coming in.
I think he might have to flash here, right?
No, I don't think so. I think he gets out here without having to use anything.
Yep. Just a bit of a mistimed gank, unfortunately, but could have been something more.
Looking at the lane states currently, there is about a 1.6k gold lead currently for Sluggers Disciples, with the CS difference differential in both jungle and mid lane. Big fight here, top lane now. Let's see if the Vex can land her ulti, potentially.
Oh! Wow, I mean, they just killed him.
They still just kill him. That was a nice start to the game, though, for Sluggers Disciples now being 4-0. And the CS difference of being very nice, very large gap in mid lane now as well, with that second kill coming in. 1.1k up for Zione.
Yeah, I really love how Gwynny's been playing so far. She's been oppressive in lane, and now she's also using her lead to get her other lanes to lead. It's or there, sorry, but it's beautiful.
Gwynny being the versatile player they are is providing a lot of utility here, I gotta say, and a lot of pressure as well. Both solo laners working together again as well here for the second Vex kill, with Pantheon roaming down before and now the Vex roaming up. Got a minute 30 till dragon here, till second dragon, which is a mountain dragon. Let's see if this ends up being a fight or if one team concedes. First Dragon going to Bagpuss Lovers, still very big for them, considering their win condition is just time. Little CS lead for the Yasuo also starting to grow in the bot lane now. Even wave state roughly, no, that's about a 2-wave lead even at this point.
Yeah. Great start for Sluggers Disciples. Oh, could be a kill here actually. If he gets the ult. No.
Ooh, nice land, the ultimate bind next. Pantheon ulti coming in. I think this is probably a one fight again for Sluggers Disciples here.
I think so. They have the man advantage.
Nice key from them.
Oh, Snow coming in though with the E. He's gonna get dragged back though. Man, I love how
it ends up being a 1-for-1, but under the turret for the Zac as well. Yone potentially dying here as well now after this by walking up.
Oh, Snow!
Big turn.
Holy, beautiful mechanical play by Snow here. So what I was talking about, on the right picks, I think he can do a lot.
Will they also be able to pick up a return? Oh, it's the Vex. My bad. Yep. Coming in with a return kill as well again. Okay. Getting the shutdown, I think I saw there.
Yeah, still a net win for Sluggers Disciples, although a great save there by Snow for something that should have been much worse.
Definitely. I thought with the 2v1 with the CC from Zac coming in, I thought that was a done deal, but Snow turning it around.
Yeah, I gotta say, I love how the Zac's been playing just ultra aggressive, no fear, knowing his limits, diving turrets. It's, I love it.
Yep. Dragon being up here as well with Vex and Aatrox teleport both being down. It will potentially end up being a 4v4 with the Bagpuss Lovers currently having some priority on it. Having already having set up some vision. But there is also a blue ward on the Dragon from Sluggers Disciples.
Yeah, I think this should go to Sluggers Disciples. The bot lane having to reset, and of course them having the gold advantage.
Yeah, and it is here also. It is them starting it here up as well.
Yep.
Looking like an uncontested Dragon for them here, with Garner being on his chickens, or all coming from his chickens. See what the Bagpuss Lovers can do on the return. Maybe they can get some priority in another lane, get some turret damage versus lights down still. Big fight in mid lane. Yone ulti. Some good play from the Zac. I was gonna say some get the words. What's the opposite of synergy? Happening from the Zac and the Gana, but absolute World War 3 happening right now.
Yeah,
in the mid lane.
Blue team just surviving on 1 HP. It's gonna be so tilting for Bagpuss Lovers.
Ends up being a 2-for-1 though, in the advantage of Sluggers Disciples here. I gotta say, with the name Sluggers Disciples, how long till we see them pull out the Trundle? Gotta happen at some point.
Yeah, I think so. They want to honor their namesake.
Their messiah, considering their disciples.
Yeah, Slugger, of course. Notorious Trundle top player in lower bracket, I think.
In lower bracket, yes.
Yeah.
The gold lead having grown as well, quite a lot for Sluggers Disciples. It's more than doubled since we last checked in. From the 1.5, no, more than doubled. It's about doubled from the 1.5k to a 2k gold lead now.
Yeah, and I really think it's his Zac that's been making this difference. Just always there at the right moment, jumping in at the right time. Yeah.
Absolutely, and the scoreline so far reflects that as well. Gwynny also and the Pantheon being involved in almost every kill.
For sure.
Well, the majority of the kills.
Now
Nice interrupt from the Skarner there.
Now this Janus getting to just move around, and they're moving as a 4-man units, and it's almost impossible for Red Team to do anything. I think they just gotta weather the storm for now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think they have done so pretty well. It's only 3k. We'll be looking at the blue team dropping down the Herald and using the grubs to try to take down a tower. Yeah, it should be the first tower as well.
Yeah, both teams coming in with one item so far, and here it is the Hunt going in on this
Oh!
big heal after the ultimate, turning it around for Mr. Twisty on the Aatrox.
Aatrox moments.
Nice pick from Sluggers Disciples here in the mid lane as well.
Yeah,
Picking
that
up 2 kills.
almost looked too easy there. It just like clockwork for Gwynny on this Vex.
Hitting most of their shield shots as well, most of their ultis. The only one I think we've seen miss was the one in top lane. Yeah, they're coming in with a little bit of harass. Looking to be in a little bit of trouble here against Skarner and Aatrox. But Pantheon coming in with the ulti. Maybe they can turn it around. I wouldn't expect it though. Ganek, however, getting out. We're getting away with a war crime here.
Yeah, it's gonna suck to be Skarner here. I don't think he can do it. Oh, we got him. Okay, good.
They still got the trade kill at least, but that's gotta feel rough. I would be a little. I might be a little bit lower if that would have happened to me. So, however, fighting back.
Yona just wins in top there. Oh, we're getting another fight. Okay, I like how. Oh goodness!
Getting everything again.
Yeah, charmed under the tower though.
Tower.
Yeah, getting a little bit too confident there. Maybe after it's been going so well, happens to the best of us.
Given that shutdown over though, shrinking the gold lead again from what it was back down to about 2k again.
Yeah, and I don't know how the Hunt is going to be able to keep up with the rest of his team, but we'll see if Snow will go down here.
The CS is looking fine at this point, but Seraphine did, however, just pick up a shutdown, so the gold lead there is quite large now.
That's right.
Yone picking up another kill here.
Oh, Yasuo coming though, flashing
Yasuo
over.
coming in.
Can he kill him? Yes, he can.
He does kill. Does he die himself, or does he get out with the
Aatrox coming in? Yeah, I think...
Nearly a nice prediction here as well on the queue. What an absolute fist fight, Gwynny with the Vex coming in, but it's the situation is already diffused.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, that's what I was talking about. Side lane goat right there. Getting 2 kills there in a row on the side lane.
Let's see if Pantheon can get out of this situation with the bot lane coming in here after he's taken turret while back he's taken dragon. Nice follow over the wall from the Hunt onto the Skarner. However, going a little bit deep again, and the Aatrox showing up again. Big Skarner ulti.
Yeah.
Gana healing coming in. Beck getting all the AoE in. Skarner having to flash out, everybody having to back out, teleport coming in from Snow. Vex picking up Tom and the Seraphine. Minos Karma being forced to flash away from the Gwynny ulti, from the Vex ulti. And that is just a big win again from Sluggers Disciples. It's a 3-0 after all that. Scratch that, make that a 4-0 here? Yeah. Should also be able to pick up 1 to 2 turrets here afterwards. Probably only the one with the Aatrox and the Seraphine respawning here.
Yeah, this is an absolute roller coaster of a game. You can see Sluggers Disciples overstepping there in a bunch of different places on the Rift. But now they've just been able to bring it back from Bagpuss lovers overstepping. So,
yeah, I think Slugger's Disciple is also going to end up picking, not quite picking up another turret here top lane. Lefter is choosing to have some patience picking up that turret after everything that's happened. The Otacon is also spawning any second now, with the Bagpuss Livers having priority currently on the map after respawning first, with Slugger's Disciples having to reset. Let's see what they do with this time. Kinda going up right away as well to set up some vision topside. Potentially wanting to play for the Opticon here into playing for the turret.
Yeah, gonna be looking to start the Otacon here. I think it will definitely favor Sluggers, although the Otacon, of course, lowers their resistances. So
Opticon does do a lot of damage. Big pick up on the Karma instantly. Smarter also following. And it looks like the Otacon is probably Slugger's Disciples here. The Herald also being up Shelly, then a crash into the turret and take that as well at the same time. It's looking rough here for the Bagpuss Livers.
Yeah, it's a real shame how they play that. I think as a team you have to decide, are you going to contest it or are you not? They went with kind of a middle ground there, which led to two members of their team just being caught out.
Yeah. We are grown with gold lead to now about 6k, but the two dragons to the Bagpuss Livers, if they can stall for another about 7 minutes and end up picking with both dragons, that'll also mean they hit about 2 to 3 items. Second items are coming in for people now, starting to be completed. They might still have the time if they can stall the waves. Slugger's Disciples definitely has to keep their foot on the gas here. Snow picking up in a side lane turret as a trade for everything that's gone down. Dragon spawning in about 1 minute 30 with the Janna starting to set up vision here.
Yeah, I think Slugger's Disciples are going to love this game state. Keeping their foot on the gas is exactly what their comp is meant to do. Vex going in, Zac going in, and then Yasuo and Pantheon very easily following up. I think this is just great for them. We'll see if they do make a mistake.
So far, the few mistakes that have happened, they've still managed to turn around with their globals, though, and even semi-globals even. It's they've had good responses to the situations that have happened in their disadvantage, which is another benefit of their comp, like we mentioned in Champion Select, their mobility on the map.
Yep. Yeah, I do want to see if, as we're getting later into the game, I think Aatrox and Yone might be better off on the side lane, which could give them prio for objectives. So that might be sort of a saving grace for Red Team here.
That might end up being an option, but I think that would be more of an intermediary situation where we play for the side lanes currently, pick up a lot more farm, maybe give up a dragon here and wait for more items and experience to come in.
Oh,
from the Vex here. Large jumps. Seraphim ulti is semi-hitting. Trying to ulti. Yasuo ulti after the knockups. It's just it is just rough for the Bagpuss Livers. That was very, very well played by Slugger's Disciples. I'm thoroughly impressed by how they played that there.
Yeah,
Winnie
gorgeous
on the,
engage. The flash fear.
The flash fear indeed.
Yeah, that's definitely like a complex mechanical thing on Vex. I've never seen a player do that.
Apparently you could do it. I didn't know either. Then again, but I don't see a lot of Vexes normally.
Same.
Slugger's Disciples here picking up both an inhib, a turret, 2 turrets even potentially here. Nah, we're gonna wait on that. And the dragon, evening up the score on the dragons. Currently sitting on a 9k gold lead. They can Baron is spawning in 15 seconds. They will probably want to end the playing for that, and probably look to end the game with that Baron as well. However, the scaling for the Bagpuss Lovers is coming in a little bit. Their entire team having hit 2 items. Let's see if that ends up being enough so far, but it's looking rough with both the Zac and the Vex having 3 items completed so far. The Zanyas for the Vex allowing for a lot more playmaking as well, like we just saw the last fight.
Yep.
Snow nearly getting caught out here on the side lane, having to flash and ult out.
Lovely escape, although that's not going to end up being worth.
Yeah, Baron being started by Zac and the Yasuo after the chunk on the Yone. It's hard decision, I would say. Now Starter being engaged on, having to flash out. Aatrox, however, pushing on the side, looking to take the tier 2 in the bot lane here, at least as a trade, getting some shutdown gold.
Yeah, but he doesn't have TP, so they're essentially just giving us away here, so they should just be backdropped. Yeah. Yeah, good. Might take a mid lane tower. Wow, they're just backing up.
Looks like Aatrox is recalling.
Yep.
However, the gold lead has shrunk a little bit after picking up waves and some turret shutdowns here, some objective shutdowns. It is currently only a 6k gold lead compared to what it was before, which was about a 9k gold lead. 7k after the cancer starting to come in again and being picked up. With that mid lane turret being very low though, tier 1, maybe the Bagpuss Lover can end up grouping up, trying to siege that and taking the shutdown on that before the next dragon spawns in 2 minutes. Now, the Bagpuss Lovers will also have to decide, can we play for this next dragon, or do we just have to turtle up and farm and wait?
I think it's going to be tough with the priority the Baron buff gives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Air buff will it'll be close to running out at that point. Maybe Ferris getting picked out here. Big chunk on the Leone. Nothing is shield bed. Getting picked off. Starter on the ulti. Vex big on the turret here. The Zac and the Yasuo on the back line. It's over, I think here. I don't think they can defend anymore here after this. What a game! What an absolute fist fight of a game!
Yeah, what a scrap! So many kills, mostly to Sluggers' disciples' favor, but in the end, yeah, it goes to them. And
in the end,
yeah, go ahead.
In the end, though, both the solo laner and the jungler just making the entire difference for Sluggers' disciples. The mobility of the Pantheon and the Vex and the Zac as well is coming in clutch every single fight again.
Yeah,
what a game.
I was gonna use one of the one-liners here that I have received from Chubak Cowboy. Swing for the fences, smash the nexus. Trundle's bat don't miss. Oh, yeah, you like that, guys? All right.
So we're coming in with the big one-liners. Let's see that. What did you think the deciding point in the game actually was here? Because I think there were about 2 or 3 that really swung the game.
I think it's just kind of when Bagpuss Lovers ended up getting those kills on the side lane. I think Sluggers' disciples ended up overstepping a little bit. When Sluggers' disciples turned it around on the dragon fight, and Bagpuss lovers were the ones who overstepped. I think that's really what solidified it. They did get like a glimmer of hope, but unfortunately they threw it away.
Yeah, it was a fairly close game for a large part of the game, and I want to say the highlight of the game was absolutely that dragon fight with the Vex ulti
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
flash fear. That was probably what sealed Bagpuss Lover's fate after that during that game.
Yeah. Just
Was
just
a
great engages with very few mistakes. It's you just have to commend Sluggers disciples.
Absolutely. And pulling off the harder to execute comp, in my opinion at least, very well, very very well. I gotta point out again as well to the bot lane. We are going to break actually before we continue talking about the game. We're back here now after an interesting game one. Sluggers Disciples taking the series 1-0 up to Bagpuss Lovers. Let's see if this turns into a 2-0 or if Bagpuss Lovers can pull it back. However, my co-host here, Gallant, has an interesting thing to show all of us, to present to us, if you will.
Yeah. What's up, guys? I'm Gallant. This is my presentation. I originally presented this to the other casters because I thought it would be funny. But yeah, it might be a good introduction to the audience as well. So let's get into it. Captain Flowers, Cadril, Vedius, Bald Man, Irish Guy, Gallant, you guys. What do these people have in common? Nothing. But they all started somewhere. That's right, every caster, they started somewhere. I'm sure Captain Flowers casted something like this in the beginning of his career. And this is where I'm starting. Fearless League, baby. Yeah, I've played in it before, but I've never casted it, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna bring lots of passion, love for Fearless, and knowledge of the higher bracket, flexibility. I'm gonna, you know, try out different ways of casting. We'll see. Most importantly, I'm very League of Friends. So there you go. A little bit about me.
Little bit about Gallant there, yeah. And about me, since we're here introducing ourselves anyways, I don't know if everybody here knows me. I played on the Crack Connoisseurs last season, played jungle. We ended up coming in third in the entire tournament, playing with some of the other players still in the tournament here. Well, some. The only person still in there is actually my former top laner, now captaining Les Ratatouilles. Looking to see how they end up doing. When is it? The 16th or the 18th? Let me double check.
16th.
It is on the 16th, so that is on a Friday. This
Oh,
Friday,
you're casting that. Nice.
I sure am. And another friend as well of mine on their team as well, the support. Okay, let's see. Leading into the next game. Well, we've got draft coming up very soon here. Let's see what we end up seeing there. I think we're gonna have to, with Bagpuss Lovers actually taking blue side for game 2. They get to have priority on the first pick. I'm expecting to see the Volley Bear picked away there, which, however, will mean that Sluggers Disciples will have the capability of picking up Aphelios early on as well. So I think that leaves a very interesting dynamic there. And let's see what else they end up picking up with the Aphelios if they do end up doing that.
Yeah, I think just the Aphelios automatically makes it a different kind of draft. This one before was a very heavy engaged comp. Everyone just goes balls to the wall, straight in. I think Aphelios, you can't really do that because then he can't follow. You need to do a more safe, kind of ball comp where you're protecting Aphelios, you're playing for him, you're speeding it up, shielding him. Yeah.
You say that, and I would normally agree. However, having the Hunts Aphelios last Saturday, boy, what a struggle! That man is very good at the champion. He absolutely knows what he's doing. I would expect though, if he does end up picking the Aphelios early on, that Bagpuss lovers will have to look to play a very heavy dive comp to try and shut that down. But we'll have to see what they end up, what kind of route both teams will end up going here. Some interesting picks still for Sluggers Disciples as well that are available are Gwynny's Gragas is potentially going to be up if it's not banned. I don't remember if it was banned game one or not. We have Random Potato with both a Gwen and a Mundo option. Mundo would provide some frontline and a lot of damage as well for the Aphelios. Gragas would do the same in frontline and disruption. Lefteris has a lot of picks left. RG Tilt Lord, a lot of different champions available. On the other side, we have a lot of different champions available as well. Volibear, presuming goes top here for the Bagpuss lovers. Maybe Phil just ends up picking up the Kindred if Gragas is not up. And a lot of different options from the versatile players that Snow and Tom are. What are your thoughts on their options here?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think we will just see comfort. I think that's what a lot of teams automatically default to when they have lost a game. So maybe just trying to pick your mains, Volley for Mr. Clisty, Kindred for Anphilgus, I think. Maybe Snow's looking at the Aurelia. Yeah, that's what I think.
If Bagpuss lovers does go with a dive comp like I have in mind, if the Aphelios happens, a very interesting option would be the Samira for Tom, which Tom had an absolute pop-off game on last Fearless as well. So that is also a potential follow-up option for them if it ends up being a bit of a dive comp. Or we could go for another route again, having a lot of mages in his champ pool, having also started out mid lane last Fearless. Tom, draft has started here. Interesting start with the Kindred, Lulu and Victor banned so far.
Oh yeah, okay, and Aurelia as well.
A lot of different lanes being banned here. Nobody being particularly targeted so far. The Braum being banned, I find very interesting for the Bagpuss lovers. However, the expected Volibear first pick matched right away with a Gnar.
Yeah, and that is a great lane. I've played it before. I think it definitely requires some skill on the Gnar side, but it should be a good lane.
Ooh, the Elise coming in here as well.
Yeah, so
very aggressive comp so far for Bagpuss lovers. They will have to try and win very hard early on.
Ooh, taking away the Mel, taking away the Mel from Tom here, for Gwynny.
Yeah, taking away one of the bot lane options for Tom here. Some damage diversity. However, I would say they already have quite a lot of damage diversity with Elise and Volibear providing a lot of AP damage.
For sure.
Jungle Pool being pinch, and the Aphelios is coming in. And the Samira, like I said, was an option.
Yeah, gonna be engaged support here, I think. Yep, there we go.
The draft going by insanely quickly. Everybody clearly having an idea of what they want.
Yeah, and that's Eric Shen right there. Extremely good at the champions, so I'm excited to see that.
Very interesting draft from both sides. Sluggers Disciples playing with a lot of range and a lot of different tools here. Again, having an extra global available for some map movements. a lot of short range and assassin type champions from Bagpuss lovers. They will have to try and play for their early game, trying to win with a lot of skirmishes, potentially playing for early dragons. With the Samira, the Zed, the Elise, all of them very aggressive. And I think it was again a very interesting draft. Do you favor either side here, Gallant?
I think I would still favor Sluggers Disciples. I think they have great disengage. It's going to be very hard for them to actually catch the Lilia, I feel like.
Yeah, they have no. They have some lockdown with the Leona, but it's still not easy to land on the speedy Lilia.
Yeah, and then the Mel with the shield as well. I think it's a recipe for success there. But we'll see. I mean, Slugger's Disciples sort of switching up their comp from the heavy dive comp they did last game, and then Bagpuss lovers absolutely switching up their comp to the complete opposite. We'll see if the dive comps are what is the key to success in the series here.
Yeah, I think it'll end up being very interesting. The Sluggers Disciples draft having a lot of range, but then also having a good disruption in frontline with the Shen, the Gnar. Lilia provides a lot of damage. I think Lilia is going to end up being able to actually be very important in this game. I think she gets a lot of freedom this game to do what she wants.
Yep.
Again, very, very interesting drafts. Kind of almost flipping it around from game one. Bagpuss lovers absolutely flipping it around from a scaling draft to we will win before 15 minutes, we will lose. I gotta say though, the bot lane matchup is very interesting as well, just player wise, with the Hunt being a Masters player, Tom also being very high elo, very high skilled. Let's see, who else did we have? Do you have any other thoughts on any of the players or the draft here, Gallant?
I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see if the Gnar does work out. I think it's clear by how extremely quickly he picked it that he has been planning this out for a long time. Perfect form, that is. And I'm sure he was aware that Mr. Clisty is a prolific Volibear player. So we'll see if the counter pick works out, or if it is going to be more comfort taking the edge. Yeah, but I'm not really sure. I think jungle interference will matter a lot there, and I think Lilia does have the edge on Elise in the 1v1. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
I think it all depends on who gets the jump. Let's see. What else interesting do we have here? I would expect the Bagpuss lovers to try and play for early Drakes, especially here, looking to invade with the Elise. It just depends on who can get the jump in a lot of situations. I think for the Bagpuss lovers, they're kind of a skirmishy pick comp team, with the Elise, with the Leona, looking to pick someone out before a fight actually happens, or just having a lot of 2v2s, 3v3s all over the map. I think the dragon fights early on are going to be very big, and also the early grubs might end up being very important. I'm very interested to see who gets the what do you call them again? The feats of strength this game. If Sluggers Disciples can hold off. I mean, I say hold off. They're not like exactly weak early game. It's just the putting it in contrast with the aggressiveness that the Bagpuss lovers have drafted. Zed is also incredibly interesting, which I did not expect to see yet.
Yeah, I mean that's comfort versus snow. I know he can't play it very well, and I think he will this game, but it'll just depend on if it's enough against the movement speed and disengage of Sluggers' disciples.
Yeah. Let's see if we see some level 1 shenanigans, because I would not be surprised to see them in this game. With the at least a very strong level 1 champion, having a lot of CC as well, followed by the Leona. But it's looking like just a fairly defensive lineup again, level 1.
Yeah, actually surprised by that, or are you?
A little bit. I kind of, like I said, I kind of expected the Bagpuss lovers to try and do something here early game, because Lydia's level 1's not bad, but it's a little lacking. It's also very vulnerable to being invaded and CC, of course. Let's see, Mel's level 1 is alright. Aphelios doesn't get anything level 1, of course. Shen's taunt level 1 is, of course, very strong.
Yep. Yeah, and Shen just a strong champion overall right now. I do actually like him support, not where he would usually be spotted, but Eric plays him top and support, so which is RG Tilt Lord. So I think he'll be able to shine if it goes to plan.
Yep. Let's see. Lanes have started out now, though. The hunt with his Aphelios, the Aphelios Shen lane, having a longer range, of course, getting some priority level 1, will hit level 2 first.
Yeah, Shen also feels like a huge counter to Samira, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. The short range with the fact she's short range, the W, letting her not stack up her passive as fast, is it's a little hard. And some pathing ends up happening here early game. But either of the junglers currently looking like the normal full player for both champions, but it isn't Elise. Elise will want to end up doing some things early game. Otherwise, what is the point of picking an Elise?
Yeah, perfect form. Playing it very safe early here. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to go. I think Volibear does get pushed, but I think Gnar should be able to poke a little bit more than he has done here.
My top lane knowledge is a little lacking compared to a lot of other matchups, but I would imagine that the early game is a little bit of just farm for Gnar and wants to play for boots. And when he ends up getting boots, he can play a little bit more aggressive. That's how a lot of Gnar lanes end up going, at least. Like the classic Renekton Gnar lane, both sides of the lane just really want to get their boots ASAP. Because the movement speed it provides allows the Gnar to kite a lot harder, and ends up being able to get his passive off a lot more.
Ooh, we'll see if it gets Mega here. It just jumps out, okay.
Big trade on the bot lane happening, Shen taunting Leona. Leona having to flash out. The Hunt following. The Hunt picking up the first blood there. Nicely played from RG Tilt Lord with the Shen. Not even having to burn his flash for that pick. Let's see, Elise looking to do something mid lane here against the Mel. See what ends up happening here. Lily is also around, so this could turn into a 2v2 still.
Yeah, the shield just reflects the web there.
No mana no mana for the Mel, so not a lot being able to trade it back there after the shield and after the root. Both junglers currently matching sides. However, that is the Elite mainly looking to do something in the volatile match of the top lane, as where Lilia is looking to farm. She is on her way as well now, but Elite will have priority. Getting a kill there. Just Elite things. Big big trade again in the bot lane. Tom flashing in. Yeah, that looks like a double kill to me, almost. Or the Hunt is able to get out still with his Aphelios. So, 1 kill traded back bot lane.
Yeah, just a poorly timed engage there. I think in the middle of the wave, he just ended up taking too much damage from the minions, as well as Samira.
Samira does still do a lot of damage even this early on.
Gwynny
Roam
roam.
here.
Yeah, don't think this will be anything, right?
No, I doubt it either. I don't think, since
Yeah,
the
and-
Hunt can't follow, there's no jungler, no support, I don't think this is anything.
And she does concede a wave there in the mid lane. I think Lilia picked up some of them though, but
They might be able to look at Zed here though, or
Oh.
Zed's able to jump the Mel. Zed is... Yeah, that is absolutely just a solo kill for the Zed.
yeah, just really well timed,
Looks like
waiting
it's
for the
slow.
opportunity. Can he get out though? Yeah, I doubt it.
He does get, yeah, it does look like he'll get traded for here. Ooh, burning the flash and still dying to the burn. A little bit unfortunate from Snow there.
Yeah, very close. I think looking for that play is smart, very opportunistic, but with the priority of the other champions on the Rift, it just didn't work out.
Exactly, the jungle tracking from Snow and Phil just being a little bit off. The Shen here currently might be caught out.
Yeah, just
Getting half his health bar chunked.
feels a bit
Through,
unnecessary
potentially
with
before dying.
Aphelios not even being there.
Completely unnecessary. It's not, he wasn't holding a wave or anything either. He was really doing much. They're taking his half his health bar for free. And it is just another death for him after that point from before.
Yeah,
Samira absolutely getting quite a lead so far in with 2 kills here to 1.
yeah, Tom and Minost playing this lane very well, I would say. I think both of them on big comfort.
Yeah, and the death from Shen also means that the dragon, which had set a vision up for very well, just ends up going over the Bagpuss Lovers. Bagpuss Lovers looking to trade back around the Volibear top lane though, but with the Lilia having no mana, and the Gnar being so far away, that just looks like it's nothing.
Was a really well timed ult there by Mr. Cleasty. He ulted out the moment he was going to be put to sleep by the Lilia ult, I believe,
Yep.
which
Very
cancelled it.
Very good buffer, yeah. Grubs being started up by Sluggers Disciples though. Zed looking to contest currently. Gnar has top lane priority, but the Volibear does have a slightly bigger health bar. Leona is already on her way as well, while the Shen is still bot lane and not level 6. I think Sluggers Disciples just have to try and get out here.
Ooh!
Nice kill from Gwynny there from the Mel, but I think they still have to just look to get out and be happy with taking 2 grubs for 1 and a kill. The 2 grubs does mean they also get the progress towards the feat, so we're 1-1 for feats now, and I did not see who got the feat of strength first. So that looks
That was
like
Bagpuss
a
Lovers.
That was Bagpuss Lovers.
Yep.
So the feats are still all up in the air, honestly. Besides, of course, the feat of strength, but the actual completion of it looking all up in the air currently still. I can still see that going both ways.
Yeah, is that... Does Gnar have Sorcerer's Shoes? Is that a bug?
Yes.
What? That must be a misbuy, right? He
that
meant to buy Sickness
must
Shoes or something?
That must be a misplay, yeah.
Alright. That is very surprising from a very experienced player. That is perfect form. But I'm
All
sure
I
he'll
can
just sell him back.
All I can say is his Gnar's W does do magic damage.
Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
I can't really say anything else to that. And we have confirmed it is not a bug. Those are actually short shoes on the Gnar. We're gonna have to ask him after the game somewhere. Was it a mistake? Was it a misclick? What ended up happening there? What was the thought process?
Yeah. Handful coming in here. Lilia is there though. This could be very dangerous if they do go in. Okay, they're gonna disengage the
Teleport coming
TP
in
behind
as
though.
well from Mel. I think this is looking really good for Sluggers Disciples here. Yeah, that's gonna end up being a triple killer here. The Hunt picking up one kill. With the barrier picking up another for the Mel.
Yeah, just using the vision you see in that tri-bush there, they had vision, so they knew exactly what Elise was doing, so they were able to pan ahead with Lilia positioning herself, and then of course the TP behind there from Mel.
Yeah, just baiting them in, letting them do their thing, and then just turning it around on them. Very, very nice. After having a very even early game so far, Sluggers Disciples are pulling it ahead a little bit in the goal department now. Again, 1.5 days, just like last game around this time. And a pick on the Lilia, however.
Great.
Back a little bit with the shutdown as well.
Great play from my former teammates.
Very true. Must be some remaining synergy from last season. Minute and a half till next dragon. That means we have time to set a vision still for both teams. I would expect both teams to want to play this. Maybe Bagpuss Lovers having some priority on it, considering the Samira and the Zed have completed items. The Mel's, Sarah's not being stacked yet, but the jungle item difference on the Lilia having the Leanders is quite large.
At least does get the Storm Surge,
there we
so.
go. Storm Surge does come in. So, I would probably look to give the Dragon still for Sluggers Disciples here, unless they manage to get a pick beforehand. I would currently think that the Bagpuss Lovers are still a bit stronger.
Yeah, but looking at top, Mr. Khaleesi has used his TP. We'll see, maybe Gnar just TPs back here to top lane. But otherwise, they do have an advantage.
No, looks like Gnar is walking back. So
And does not sell his Sork shoes. Oh my goodness, what is going on?
With the gold currently this early on in the game, I wouldn't sell it yet either, even if I had made the mistake on accident.
Yeah.
It still provides something. It provides more move speed, and the money you get back is not worth losing at this point, considering he is already down as well in gold as well from the plates.
That's fair. I think that is the smart way to go. Snow here going in. Gonna be shunking out Mel.
Right before the dragon. A 3v4 looking at the bot lane right now. Leona ult.
Oh!
I think this is just a big wipe for Sluggers Disciples here. I don't know why they were looking to contest after Mel got chunked mid lane as well.
Yeah, Lilia's just staying here. I'm not sure what she thinks she's able to do.
Probably trying to
Oh, the Shen ult!
Right in. Does get this. Oh, what a turnaround! What a turnaround with the Shen ulti!
Yeah, just a great team play there. Well, like totally unexpected for us in the audience, but they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, I can already hear them saying definitely calculated. None of that was an accident for sure. Perfect form, left arrow flashing away here after Mr. Khaleesi ults onto his face. Now looking to kite him away and do some damage back. What a fight though. I absolutely did not see that coming. The fact that that so many people survived the initial engage as well is surprising to me. I was expecting the Samira to get her stacks real quick there, considering 3 people stacked up, and be able to turn it around there. But no.
Going in on Gnar here. We'll see if he gets out his ult. No, he transforms. And yeah, I think that's just gonna be a dead Gnar.
Coming in from Mel here. Lilia also running in. They can still turn this around to 2v2 after having burned some cooldowns from the Bagpuss Lovers.
I think they just run out, right? Oh, the flash, okay.
From the volley. Yeah.
Still not going to be worth though, as Snow is just able to push down in the mid lane.
Gnar should be able to teleport mid lane once he respawns. At least it shouldn't be the entire turret gone here. Big trade happening here as well. Lilia taking a lot of damage, flashing out.
Yeah,
He's
but
probably looking for the kill the volley here with the Mel ulti, and yeah, there it is. Snow's still just hitting mid lane and not roaming up.
this is just so unnecessary, I think. Like, looking at Mr. Khaleesi, his wave was pushed down under his tower. He was and less than half HP, and they started another fight. What they wanted to do was just reset there.
Absolutely. That was also the feat coming in for Bagpuss, though.
Beautiful by Snow.
Oh no, it is, the feat's not yet in, but that was the turret going down in the bot lane.
Yeah, they get the Herald. Sorry, I'm focused on the fight here. Flash this out? Okay. Alright, they get the Herald and get up.
That's, still a nice play, turning around and killing the Lilia as well, getting a shutdown. But yeah, it was indeed feats for Bagpuss lovers with Snow pushing that mid lane turret. So at least he got that on the trade by not roaming up. And the tier 1 mid lane turret is quite big, considering that the short range that the Bagpuss lovers are sieging is quite difficult for them.
Yep, and we're really seeing the Aphelios scaling here. They're definitely winning this bot lane, him and Shen now. Pushed them all the way down to the tier 2 turret.
Melon and Lilia also feeling quite accelerated, though so is the Zed. Zed also picking up Serpent's Fang for the anti-shield item against the Shen, against mainly the Shen, actually.
Yeah, big mistake by the Hunt there. Can they turn it around with Lilia? It's not looking like it. Yeah.
A little bit greedy to try and go in there still from the Lilia, in my opinion, and gets punished for it. 3-4-1.
Yeah, great play by Bagpuss lovers, catching out the Aphelios, and then red team just wanted to save the play, which couldn't be saved.
Yep. Sometimes you have to know when you can't salvage your play, and know when to give it up. Clearly they did not know that there. Mel looking to get some turret damage here mid lane. Playing just a very consistent game so far here, winning in both games. Snow catching up the bot lane, another turret in the bot lane here. That means all outer turrets for Sluggers Disciples are currently down. And every turret was essentially split pushed, uncontested.
Oh, going in on the Hunt here yet again, just takes him down in an instant.
Big damage though from the Mel, which see if we can still turn some of this around. This is still a good spot for the Mel to play. Oh, the Mel getting ulted. Well, nope. It is the same story again, trying to salvage a play and just getting punished for it. Compared to last game, their Bagpuss lovers is showing a lot more fight here. Sluggers Disciples had a great start to the game, but so far, just trying to salvage a lot of plays that did not need to happen. Both, all three outer turrets down, some split pushes, now currently up for the first time, like actually up in gold this series, with the 2k gold lead from Bagpuss lovers. Haven't turned it around from having Sluggers Disciples around a 1.5 to 2k gold lead earlier as well. That's a 4k gold swing in about 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah, an excellent play by Bagpuss lovers there. Catching out the Aphelios in both plays. We'll see if they continue to do so. And we'll also see, since this is the first time they're behind, if Sluggers are able to play as well from behind as they have when they're ahead.
Yeah, I feel like they have to be a little bit more disciplined than they have been in the last few minutes of this game. They need to use their range in their front line, but they're just trying to salvage a lot of plays when someone already has been burst down by the Samira, the Elise, the Zed, and then just getting ran down after that. We have Dragon in another 4 minutes, having just been picked up by the Bagpuss lovers. So they are currently up 2-0 on Dragons, 2-1 on the Grubs. Like just good map play from them overall so far.
Yeah, looks like we're entering what the LCK cast would call a lull state.
Where's Atlas when you need him to just yap for about 10 minutes when nothing's happening?
Yep.
So how's your day been? Big top lane fight here happening. Shen ult.
Ooh, Shen ult. Yeah, I think Mr. Khaleesi might have to flash here. Oh, flashes back in and takes out Nar.
Whoa! Over the taunt as well.
Beautiful. That's kind of like the next level of, alright. Taking on Shen as well.
Getting picked out after that.
But yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of like the next level of mechanics. Like, you really have to know your champion to do something like that. The first level is obviously to just flash away and hopefully survive. The next level is to flash back in when you're on 10% HP and actually take down the opponent. Very impressive.
Yeah. And Terror being taken, 15 Terror being taken mid lane by Zed with the Herald, and then being drifted all the way to tier 2 bot lane as well, while the rest of this team starts attacking him. They're performing this very aggressive comp very well with both Villages and Snow doing a lot of work here.
Yeah, and I think Bagpuss lovers are playing very disciplined, whereas Sluggers are not in this game, and that's really what's been making the difference. Also, just incredible engages by mainly Snow and Minost, I think.
Absolutely. However, I don't think we can fully count out Sluggers Disciples here yet either, with Aphelios hitting 2 items and still scaling.
And here we go.
And as I say that, just too far up in mid lane. Just really being desperate for that golden experience and then just getting caught out. Which, when I play AD carry, I know the feeling. I think every AD carry player knows how that feels.
Yeah, I mean, I know when I play AD carry, I have 10 deaths every game. I do a lot of damage, but I have 10 deaths. Oh!
You know what they say? Being alive deals more damage than being dead. And left air is getting picked out, but at least trading a turret. Goldbeat sitting at a 3.5k for now for the Bagpuss lovers. Slowly losing all their turrets though, without being able to fight back. I would have to think that Sluggers Disciples has to try and make something happen here with both and Zed not being there, having to pick something up.
Yeah, Minost just overstepping there.
Yeah, I think it was more so Minost stepping up to save his AD carry, Samira, with the shutdown as well.
Yeah, definitely the correct play. A support in every sense of the world. Word.
However, Bagpuss lovers outdoing Sluggers Disciples in what they do, what they're supposed to be taught by their leader, Slugger. They're getting out split pushed. The map movements from Bagpuss lovers has just been very good. Let's see. What do you think if the game ends up going, keeps going this way, and we go to game 3? What do you think either team needs to shake up here? Does Sluggers Disciple need to go back to an aggressive early game comp? Does Bagpuss lovers need to keep on the aggression as they have done so far? What do you think? Especially considering your old teammates, you know, their tendencies.
Yeah, I think they're both gonna wanna go to these kind of dive comps. To be honest, since it's been going well for both teams, that's just what makes sense. We'll see what happens in the individual draft, but oh, yeah, we'll see if Minost can save Mr. Khaleesi here as they're getting dove. Looks like they'll just have to back off though, right?
Snow coming in on the hunt. Yeah. Just from the side.
Smacking him with his wallet right here.
Snow, just large and in charge, honestly, right now. Perfect Farm also looking to not be able to get out here. bot lane, the Mel picking up bouncing waves with the Samira currently. Shen not being able to come in with an ulti to try and save anyone there. Not being able to click on Aphelios' head in time. And the Elise and the Volley Bear throwing up Baron. While he's back pushing top and Samira pushing mid.
But yeah, I think for Sluggers, more of a playmaking type champion for Gwynny in the mid lane, since it went so well in game 1. I don't think she should be on a champion like Mel that's just so AFK and responsive.
I mean, I think Gwynny has been the best member, honestly, even here for Sluggers Disciples. I would like, if on that note, some playmaking. Maybe a Gwynny Gragas? Maybe a Gwynny Gragas?
Yeah, I think that would be great.
But it also has to be a lane that's playable. Then again, Gragas can play almost any lane and be very neutralizing, just like he is in top lane.
Yeah, fucking hate playing as a champion, dude. The most elo-inflated champion I've ever seen. But anyway...
I miss when Gragas jungle was still viable.
Yeah, I mean, at least that's fun, because you can make some cool plays. Gragas top just ease you, and then the play is over.
Take me back to season 5. E-Flash, I will dominate the prediction play.
Oh, yeah.
The classic. Leona burning their ulti, trying to just buy some space. It looks like Bagpuss Sluggers is potentially trying to end the game here. But
Yeah, I mean, they can, surely.
With the wave clear from Sluggers Disciples from both the Mel and the Aphelios having blue gun, it does look a little bit difficult. I think they just have to keep on the split push to the as they have been. Just with how strong Snow is especially. Like, you just want to stick him in a side lane and nobody on the enemy team is going to be able to match him. Gnar will just die even with Shen ulting on his head, I think. Currently, top lane turret being sieged. Again, like I said, wave clear is still fairly good from Sluggers Disciples. Baron will run for another about a minute and a half, I would say, at this point. Big chunk on the Gnar. Gnar, however, Mega here. Still getting one shot after going Mega. Maybe a trade kill on the Elise. Two ultis being burned though, for not a lot of value from Sluggers Disciples.
Oh, big sleep.
Big sleep. And the Samira dies, and the Hunt gets a shutdown on the Aphelios. That is quite big. They want to look to slow chase here and maybe get another shutdown here and buy some extra time. Now you have to keep in mind, taking the inhib does mean that Bagpuss Sluggers essentially loses a wave of farm of NXP every time if they let it push in, which will end up making quite a big difference over time. Lilia chasing too far and getting picked out though.
Yeah, but for a Scuttle Crab, I think that's just so unnecessary, especially when Dragon's just coming up. We need Lily alive. Now it's just gonna go down to Bagpuss Lovers along with Soul.
Yes, exactly. There's not much else to be said there about that, honestly. I think the Lily is just feeling a little bit desperate still.
Yeah.
I don't think it was necessary there. The Hunt reaching 3 items on the Aphelios though, that's a big breakpoint for any AD carry. Like, strongest 3-4 you can get currently Yuntal, LDR, and Infinity. Not yet completed boots though. Just sitting on the magical footwear.
And by the way, speaking of boots, checking in on Gnar.
Still Short Shoes.
Yep.
Still Short Shoes. Short Shoes and Black Cleaver. Interesting combination.
I will
coming in.
I will be DMing him about that actually. I'm very curious to know.
Yeah. I would also like to know. Most of Bagpuss Lovers by now also having picked up their upgraded boots, which compared to last split with the Noxus map, going down 200 gold in cost, being a lot more gold efficient and worth picking up now compared to last split. I've also just clocked in both the Elise and the Zed sitting on 10 kills so far. Zed sitting on individually on a 4.3k gold lead, which is almost the entire gold lead that Bagpuss Sluggers has. So if they're somehow able to pick out the Zed, which is admittedly hard with the spell shield they've got going on, they can still potentially turn it around if that happens. They have some tools to do it. They have the Lilia Sleep, the Shen E-Flash, Flash is currently not up. They have Gnar ulti, they have Meld with the E and the Burst. There's a lot of tools still available to make something like that potentially happen.
Yeah, and Bagpuss lovers, not the best siege comp at all by any means. They have horrible wave clear, and like they're good in skirmishes in the jungle and on objectives, but in the enemy space, it's just terrible.
Like I said, they just want to send Zed to the side lane, which they have done.
So
the Hunt walking in first, the Hunt flashing in on the Zed, taking up the
Snow gets taken down.
Trading kills though for Samira. Samira ulting in on Sluggers and Gwynny. Big chunk. Samira burns down. Looks like it was just too far from the mid. It could have probably played it a bit slower and just taken turret slowly and not given up so much. However, Volibear getting so much done here still. Holy.
Yeah,
taking turrets, inhib, Nexus turrets.
I was gonna say this is gonna mean Baron, but with Volibear doing that, that's gonna mean more than half of the red team's base here.
With Zed coming up in 15 seconds again, and Samira in 10 seconds, and the wave states currently, it still looks a little difficult to do that, but the Hunt also just now coming up again. I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I think they just want to focus on clearing out their base, potentially getting some jungle camps, and getting just more golden experience going on.
Yeah, great catch out there by Sluggers Disciples. And I mean, that's really showing where the gold lead is at in the game. If you look at Snow, 4k ahead, everyone else is not like that ahead at all. It's barely even meaningful. So it means that if Snow gets caught out, speaking of caught out, Elise here.
Dead, that Velocity potentially, or Pillar going too far. They're doing Baron over the wall with the Ethereal and the Lilia.
They do get it.
That is actually just knowing the damage very well here. Nice flash from the Lilia. Trading her life for the Baron seems very worth it here. Just the Baron allows them so much more time. All the Hunt play, again, picking out the Zed single-handedly. Last time, flashing after getting ulted, flashing forward onto the Zed. This time, just sitting in a bush, waiting, seeing it happen. Guns are a little less optimal to play a big fight now and go for the Hunt, and burning his ulti as well. Mel happens to burn Flash. Lefterra still sitting in the side lane.
They will just be able to end here, I think.
Yeah, I think Lefterra didn't realize his recall got cancelled or something. Like, saw him sitting there on the mini-map. Don't know what happened there. Maybe not actually stop the game from ending here still. And with the Nexus turrets respawning.
What a game! Holy.
Again, fist fight. The Baron power play is looking not so good currently, with going down 3k gold from it.
Yeah,
they're holding on for dear life still.
This is really all just because of comp. Red team's draft just so insanely hard on scaling, and now they're finally becoming online. And blue team's comp just so terrible in this kind of situation. It must feel so terrible for them. Although, I think they might still have the advantage in this fight. Elder coming up. What do you think?
I think it's I think that Bagpuss Lover still holds a little bit more tools in the bag here, considering that they're both our Nexus I think are still in. Yeah, they are still both down. Where someone could just look at the back door. No teleport from the Volibear available though. and it looks like everyone is going to group up around the Elder Dragon.
Essentially,
so this is probably
I
gonna look
think
to be the deciding fight, probably.
I think if Sluggers disciples are given a front-to-back fair fight, they will be coming up on top. However, Bagpuss lovers do have more tools. They have Snow Zed able to just pick up the hunt if he does get in the right position. Also, Mr. Khaleesi's split pushing, but we'll see. It does look like they're just setting up here. Yep.
They do have some time. Oh, they're sending Left Terrace back now to match the Castaways. Not yet. Their minions should be spawning soon, though, so they have some time before the super minions ends up doing anything. This is a rough-looking situation, though.
Minos just goes in here. Can Snow... Mr. Khaleesi goes on Aphelios.
On the hunt. Big Gnar ulti. Can Aphelios still do anything here at the end? They also have green-white.
Oh, Aphelios versus everybody. Do they just go for Nexus? Yeah, Snow just goes for Nexus here.
Look at the minions.
Yep. And Elise is gonna look to stop the back here. Go, 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 Elise.
Yeah, Snow is just going for it, and I think Snow just ends here. I don't think he gets the recall in time. It might be close. It's gonna be really, really close.
Yeah, Aphelios is coming back.
Does have flash. The Hunt
does
have
Snow
flash,
win?
So does Snow.
No, he
No,
messed up his combo there. Okay.
Yeah, the Hunt just still defends. And Nexus turrets are starting to respawn. Inhibitors are back up. It must be a big gold swing still, getting all the shutdowns, etc. for the team. It looks like the Hunt is just going straight for Elder and leaving Shen to defend the Inhibs and Mel. Inhibs taking quite a big chunk of damage, but it looks like they're both fine.
You can imagine the players just feeling the heat here in this intense situation. Bagpuss lovers not wanting to throw the game away, and Sluggers coming back. They do just get their Elder here.
If Bagpuss lovers somehow loses from this position here, after they had open Nexus, I know the feeling. I remember last season against I think it was Team 13, Skank's team. God, that was the clips. Everybody knows the clips. It
Team
still
11.
hurts me.
Yeah.
It is still trauma. Never again. It's got to feel so demotivating if you lose from this kind of position, though, and which is absolutely a potential now with the Elder being picked up, with Byron coming up in a minute. Elder will last into that for another. They'll have another minute to just both play with it. Volibear's currently looking to split on the bot side as well. Also, to note, the gold graph swung back all the way from a 8k gold lead at one point, now currently basically even at this point in the game. 40 minutes into the game, that 1k gold means nothing anymore with the strength of the Aphelios, the strength of the Mel. Mel recalling to match the Volibear to defend the base. Snow looking on the side, Spell should get him proc. The damage with the Demolish from the Volibear, though. I don't know if Mel can actually defend this.
No, she cannot.
She cannot. Even with the essentially double execute. Snow engaging on the Gnar here.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of trying to keep them there as Volibear is split pushing.
Yeah,
look at Volibear.
Lilia is recalling though. The other half of the front team going forward still. The Hunt trying to just do everything he can.
Yeah. Yeah, Volibear will get picked out here.
A little bit weird with the Nexus turrets here. It's a little hard to gauge what's going on with the turrets there. Ooh, Left Terrace might end up getting picked out by the Zed here. No!
Yeah.
Zed's kind of just falling off at this point, honestly.
Yeah. Against the armor and just in general as a champion.
Now that Gnar has bought his first armor item. The Warden's Mail, compared to, you know, could have had some boots that do more than just your W. However, Snow just bringing down, I think honestly at this point it just looks like it's Sluggers Disciples game. I see very little way for Bagpuss lovers besides
okay, looks like Shay has frozen there, so I'll be taking over. I mean, I think they'll just start pushing down the base here and try to end. They are able to defend their Nexus towers though. Okay, we'll see. I mean, it is Sluggers Disciples' game to lose at this point. Yeah, it has to feel so terrible for Bagpuss lovers. But if there is a glimmer of hope, it is that they don't have that much peel for Aphelios. Maybe they could just pick him off at some point. And yeah, their whole base is open, so maybe they could be using volley to try and end, which is what they have been doing. So props to them for finding the right play. Ooh, I think I would have to pick Random Potato actually. Playing extremely well on the Lilia here. Very good champion in this game, but he's definitely leveraging it, especially in the late game. And on the Zac, he was just marvelous.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've had a lot of good plays all around, but we are seeing that, you know, the Nexus towers starting to fall. Well, the tier 3 towers again, sorry, starting to fall this time for Bagpuss, who have kind of, as Shay referenced before he had his technical issues, it's almost like a replication of that game. The team were literally on the door of the Nexus. They had everything. They just couldn't get over that final hurdle. And now they're the ones 4.5k, nearly a 5k going down.
Yeah, it's because of the draft. The red team's comp is just so good at defending, while blue team is very bad at sieging, which has led to the situation. Also getting caught out maybe a little bit too much than you had to, but really it's not been like, you can't really pick a specific point where blue team just threw it all away. I think it's just been many small things, and Sluggers Disciples clawing it back beautifully, leveraging the Hunt and his scaling Aphelios here. Now on 6 AD carry items here, not even having any boots, just full on damage.
You have to imagine the only way. I mean, we can see the inhib timers in the left hand side of the screen. Both teams have an inhib down on the opposite sides of the map, and we've got this Elder spawn in the next 10-15 seconds. And Volibear's pushing in the top side.
Yeah,
and also the Hunt's not in the fight. He's having to go deal with Luca on the top side. As we see Tilt Lord getting jumped on by the Leona. The ults are coming out. Everyone's going in. But without the Hunt here, they just got, well, it was looking like it's blown up. Now managed to chain one back onto Tom, but 2 more die. Luca does manage to get Hunt does kill Luca. However, Aphelios, he's a long way away from this Elder. And let's see if Bagpuss lovers can somehow get this all-important Elder Dragon.
Yeah, Aphelios will not be able to make it there before it's taken down. I have to question the decision of having the Hunt answering Volibear. The Hunt should be with the team fighting. It should be somebody else. Maybe the Hunt is the only one able to actually take down Volibear, but still, the Elder, I think, has to have a higher priority.
Yeah. I believe, Shay, were you back with us?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. I do not know what happened. I do not normally have these issues crop. But it happens again, I guess.
Believe it or not, the game is still going.
I was so sure that when, as I disconnected, I was saying I don't really see a way back here coming in, but the game is still going on. The game is still looking very close as well.
Yeah, what a banger to kick off the first game of Season 3 of Fearless. I think this might be a good omen for what's to come, guys.
Absolutely, what a game. What a What about a fist fight and a shit show for both sides? Ooh, the Lilia ult getting stopped by the wind roll from the Samira. Big chunk from Samira before she actually gets to fully pop up, just getting shut down though. I think this must, however, now. Yeah, I think, however, this is it with the 4v3 now. I don't see a way, even if Snow ends up picking up either Mel or the Aphelios, I don't see him burning through anyone else here. I think this is going to be Sluggers Disciples just ending the game now at this point.
Oh, really? They go for Baron instead? I mean, I think it is the right choice. They're a little bit low from the fight. They just want to reset together with Lilia and try to end.
I think this is honestly the riskier line. They're 4v2. It is just a Zed and a Volibear as well. I think they would have just been able to end.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just, I think in the moment it feels easier and safer. Yeah.
The stress is absolutely insane. I, however, think this is the considerably riskier play.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Still going on the hunt. The hunt
Cleanses
survives
the
so
setup.
far, but he does get killed.
Yeah, wow. I think you were completely right there. Now they're clawing it back after the wrong choice, going for the Baron. Beautiful play by Mr. Clisty and Snow.
Yeah, absolutely. Snow still trying to pull off everything he can and trying to put everything on his back as much as he can here. With the length of this game. Now with the 40 seconds, having to 3v5 here, they might actually still be able to do it somehow. Which, you had said that to me 5 minutes ago. I think it would have
Mr. Clisty though going hard. Does he manage to do more though? Oh my goodness, that damage!
Alright. Well, Bagpuss Lovers go to take game 2 here. I said it the other way around as well, but I do not see a way where they don't end here.
Yeah, it will be game 2. Yeah, absolutely. Oh!
What a...
Oh my god! Yeah, it's the hunt is coming back up!
Nervous.
They need to auto the Nexus!
What is going on?
But they won't be able to. The hunt will be coming off.
It's a repeat. Once again, the hunt.
Can Snow get out here?
The game. What is going on?
So at this point, Snow just has to hold off. Although they have prio in literally every lane, so they will be fine. But they have not ended yet, and they have to try to get the Nexus in another fight.
What
50 minutes.
What the hell is going on?
It's gonna go up to 50 minutes, I think.
Both teams professional bag fumblers.
Oh,
they are getting paid to fumble every bag they can currently. Who's
you can imagine the nerves
after this game.
Can imagine the nerves of these players.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you think Bagpuss Lovers are going to be able to end? I don't think so, because they can't actually get into the Nexus.
Honestly, at this point, I do not know anymore. This to me now, it feels like it could just go either way. I still favor the team for Sluggers Disciples, but anyone could make a pick. Anyone could make anything happen at this point with how this game has gone, and especially with the nerves and the human part of also being there. It's just, it's hard.
I think I will favor Bagpuss Lovers here. They have so much prio for this incoming Elder. I don't see a way in which they concede it. And with the Elder, surely they'll be able to end.
Well, we said that last time as well with the Elder for Sluggers Disciples. At this point, we will just have to see. I do not dare make an actual prediction at this point with the way this game has gone. Having had a standoff at the Nexus like twice now from the Hunt and Snow as well.
Yep, they will be able to burst down Elder here though. And then
we are in a long game here.
We'll just have to see, does Bagpuss Lovers overforce with this Elder and concede Oh, they'll be able to catch him out here though. Beautiful by Minost. They are gonna get Shen.
Snow. Shen does die. The Lily also getting chunked. The Hunt doing a lot of damage here to Leona. Perfect Form also dying. It's a 2v4 again, but with the Elder also.
But the Hunt is a raid boss. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, they get him! They get him! And now it's just Mel, and they're gonna be able to end. Woo!
What a game.
You just gotta clap. Holy.
I'm just scratching my head. What did I just watch? What a game.
It's entertaining for sure.
We're going into game 3, and everything is up in the air. I think this could go either way, or honestly, and it will just fully depend on being able to mentally reset for Sluggers Disciples after that game. And I think, honestly, some mental reset is probably needed for the Bagpuss lovers as well. They're going to need to have a 5-minute, have a breather, think through what's next draft going to be, what is the game plan, and then lock in.
Yeah, you know, Sluggers Disciples, they're just trying to bat around wildly, swinging wildly. They're not able to land a hit this game though. But Bagpuss lovers, they're writing a perfectly unhinged fairy tale. Perfectly,
Yeah.
like a cat, you know.
And the Hunt absolutely showing why everyone's been talking about his Felios as well, though.
Yeah, it was. He definitely came back in the late game and showed why he's so good at the champion and why it is such a menace in the late game. Made some mistakes early, but I think that just made him want it even more, and why he popped up so hard. But in the end, huge plays from Bagpuss lovers. I think with the comp they had and the fact that there was a comeback happening, the way they kept their nerves and actually made some great plays, it's commendable.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a breather after that game. I think it is absolutely needed, and let's regroup in a few minutes here. Let's see what both teams cook up in the meantime. Welcome back, everyone. I think we all needed a breather after that game, because first off, long-ass game. Second off, what a back and forth. What a banger. That is certainly one way to start off the Fearless season with a game like this. Gallant, what did you think about last game?
Oh boy, where do I even start? I mean, from Snow's impressive plays in the early game, just getting a huge lead for his team, to the gigantic throw that maybe wasn't even necessarily that huge. I think it was more team comp dependent, and also just the hunt along with his team playing incredibly well and coming back beautifully.
Yeah,
Although, yeah.
It was definitely a part the scaling and the items and the levels coming in for Sluggers Disciples there. At the moment I disconnected, I was with the Elder Dragon, with them pushing top lane, with him having a numbers advantage, if I remember correctly. I was so convinced at that point, like, all right, they've turned it around, game's over. And then they still managed to actually close it out, Bagpuss lovers, and here we are getting ready for Game 3. Think teams are getting ready for draft or already drafting at this point. Let's see what is going on. Do you have any expectations for the draft for Game 3?
I mean,
we talked a little bit about it during the game already.
I think in general, yeah, like what we would like to see is more playmaking for Gwynny, the mid laner for Sluggers Disciples. But I think in general, it will just be complete chaos. Game 3 drafts usually are. Like, because you're running out of stuff to ban, right? Because you can only ban one champion per series, so you're kind of struggling, like, okay, what do we ban? Like,
I do remember having those moments as well last season, being like, Game 3,
yeah.
okay, what do we do?
And I'm sure you're also running out of stuff to pick, like, because in League you need to pick drafts that work well with each other. You can't just pick individual champions and put them into a soup and hope they work. And like when it's fearless, you're running out of champions to pick, right? So you have to really get creative and yeah.
Yeah, there just need to be like some identity to the draft. Like, I think they've got the idea of having a draft identity down very well. So, but well so far, both of these games, both teams And just having a clear idea, okay, this is what we want to do this game, and let's work towards that.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see if it keeps up. Also, talking about mindset a bit, you know, I'm sure it's not like this for everybody, but when I'm in a series like this and you've just had a completely massive 50-minute game, fatigue starts to set in, right? You're getting a little bit tired, like maybe you don't even feel like playing this last game, but you have to, right? And I think
What
what
do
will
you
really shine through is who wants to win more and who feels more comfortable with the draft they're given as well as their team. What do you
What do
think?
you mean? Have you never played like 15 games of solo queue in a day or something? Nah, the mental fatigue between just playing solo, like 5 or 10 games of solo queue in a day, compared to having to sit there, having to think about the game, communicate with your teammates, etc., is a different kind of fatigue for sure, and
Yep.
that definitely does start to set in. We especially like with the short time between games, we might even see some I think it starts showing in the draft already, especially for game threes. Besides the fact that champion pools are a thing, and especially I find the bans to be a bigger struggle. Um, Most people end up having 3 to 5 champions they can play fairly competently at a time, I would think. So that
Mhm.
does still leave reasonable options for most players, unless you're like an actual one trick. One thing to note though, Philja's main Kindred got banned last game, so is open this game. Tom still has a lot of options for AD carries left, though his Seraphine and his Mel are out. I mean, I'll say, so also a lot of his champions open as well. Senna, the Bard, two of his big champions. Darius for Mr. Clisty still available. Perfect form. Lefteris just has a lot of champions he can play anyway, so we're fine there.
Yeah, we're also looking at Snow's Aurelia. I think there is a very, very high chance we're going to be seeing it.
Okay. Some
Yeah.
insider information from your former teammate there, or
I think it's
did
its
it?
=1 played champion, but yep, sure.
Okay.
Insider.
It's insider trading. I have just been informed Sluggers disciples have chosen the red side for this game, so they will be getting the last pick, which means the first pick priority for Bagpuss lovers is there. Though I don't know if there's any really big first pick priorities still available. I think the biggest one available that I still see just as a general champion that I'm surprised hasn't been picked yet is that Jin Zhao I talked about during game 1. I think that's probably like a very big priority pick that's still up. And yeah, let me see. I think that's about my talking points for the draft so far. Do you have any other thoughts, Gallant?
I would like to see a more aggressive pick for perfect form. I think he can be one of the best laners in the entire league if he's given the right tools. And maybe Gnar just wasn't it. I think now they've sort of gotten through the Volibear game. That's no longer a threat, along with the Aatrox.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
I gotta say, him coming in last season for Motorola Esports, they already had a big carrying cookie, but Left Arrows coming in definitely made a very big difference for them as well. I think probably what pushed them over the edge to actually win last season.
Yep.
Let's see how close he can get again this time.
Yeah, it all starts here.
Let me check. What was his champion pool again like last time? Any interesting picks that could come in that we
I
saw last
mean,
time that are still
I
available?
I have personal experience with a top lane Kane that he pulled out against me. It was red form, and he I think I was playing Gwen. He proxied me over and over, but we're getting into draft now, so let's see what happens.
Oh. Mind you, these drafts are just um in order, so we're getting to see the top lanes first, etc. We're not getting to see the actual draft order yet. We're still working on some technical things, so we have to look into that as well for our next stream. Because I have been getting some word that draft order we would like to see, and I gotta say, draft order is a very interesting thing and does matter quite a lot as well.
Yep.
I do note the Darius coming in for Mr. Clisty. Malphite for perfect form. Interesting early pick as well for perfect form with the Malphite. Technically, I would have said a flex pick, but we can already see where it is going here.
Mm-hmm.
The Diana jungle coming in would have been a lot of flex picks here. Darius Nocturne, both teams just looking to go in so far.
Ooh, the Azir.
Snow's
Okay. Yep, I've had experience with that as well. I think he is very good on the pick. Maybe lacking a little bit in his ulties, from my experience.
I have Vincent the draft order. Ooh,
Oh,
that
cool.
is some interesting things still coming in. It's the draft order gives me some reminiscence of last Fearless season, which you will see coming in. Zoe coming in, very big fan. I think currently a very strong champion and quite solid into a Azir early game as well. Well, I'll be able to play a lot of different things there. There you see the Jinx coming in, and we'll go up against the Caitlyn and the Bard. The Bard, which we did mention pre-draft.
Yep.
And the Jinx Lulu. Like I said, some reminiscence of last Fearless. That Jinx Lulu ended up being their first rotation for Sluggers Disciple, where Bagpuss lovers picked. I'll just tell you guys the draft order. It was B1 Caitlyn, R1 to Jinx Lulu, responded to with a Bard Darius, then the Malphite coming in. After that, the Diana for pick 4. Then B4-5 was Nocturne Azir, and then the last pick was the Zoe. Very interesting.
I think it's very clear. I think it's very clear who Sluggers Disciples are going to be playing for. It's going to be the bot lane, but the Jinx just trying to ball up, get some engaged with the sleep bubbles as well as the Diana, and try to let Jinx do her thing.
Absolutely, it is, however, giving away like the draft identity very early on with the Jinx Lulu right away, showing right away. Okay, we're focusing on bot lane. We want to play a hyper carry and see where this goes. Now, Bagpuss lovers trying to respond with some dive with the Nocturne and the Azir. Azir, of course, being able to shuffle the Jinx into his team, into the Darius. But we'll see how that ends up playing out, because I don't think it's that easy to do here with the Lulu. They will have to really coordinate to actually dive in together and do this together, because one of the two, if they time it together, will be able to get on top of the Jinx. And then it's just a matter of, can the Jinx survive with the Lulu shielding an ulti and the extra damage from the Zoe and the Diana coming in. Also, the Malphite into two fair semi-immobile carries, Azir and Caitlyn. They have some mobility, but they're not the most mobile. Looking very interesting for the later parts of the game for the team fights. And Diana just being able to be early game into scaling menace. I think the Diana is actually gonna kind of be the cinch for the for Sluggers Disciples here this game, personally.
Yeah, I think like both teams sort of playing for late game team fights this one. So I think we'll actually have a bit of a switch up from the just complete scrap we've had so far. What do you think?
I still think the game will be fairly scrappy. Darius will want to scrap. Azir and Nocturne both around level 6 especially, you wanna be able to do something. Very easy for them to itemize into magic resistance boots early game as well for the mid jungle duo, which does leave a little bit of vulnerability for the late game for the Jinx, but I still think the triple AP Merc threads are a thing you could look at here. Do you favor any draft in particular here?
Oh, blue side, absolutely. I think the Diana off red side is just very idiosyncratic. I think that's what that word means. Like, like it just doesn't fit with the rest of the draft. I think maybe with Malphite, but I don't know. I don't love it. I feel like Diana early game is just gonna kind of be walking around aimlessly, and she's gonna concede literally every objective. That's my prediction.
All right, I do agree with the Diana being a little bit off kilter with the rest of the team comp, but also with the way Diana currently builds, is able to buy a lot of space and time for the Jinx to actually just hit with the displacement, with the tanking she provides, and actually still quite a lot of damage as well. I think this game will be very mid-jungle focused in the early game, and will decide the pacing of the game a lot. And of course, the Bard roaming will end up mattering a lot as well. I think the Bagpuss lovers get a little bit more of the earlier side of the game, where I think Sluggers Disciples gets a bit more of the scaling game. But it's not like particularly big. We're about to get into game here again. Let's see if we have any level 1 shenanigans again this game, or again, if we have any level 1 shenanigans this game. We might have some here. I see a few people there on the top jungle, and by a few I mean everyone.
I think it's more of they're trying to counter an invade. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen though.
Yeah. That is a trend I've seen in, ooh, no, they are going.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Darius
Looking to
just runs away.
invade the, late-ish invade, looks like just for vision. They did also set up a defensive ward on their own blue, so if anything happens there, they will know. Let's see where, I think the pathing for both junglers is going to be interesting where they start out. I think Diana has probably got a fairly solid idea of just starting on chickens here, getting that second respawn of chickens up sooner to hit your level 6 sooner as well for the early objective fights, especially the grubs. If you start out chickens into... if you play chickens into being able to get both scuttles, you should typically be able to get level 6 before you actually hit grubs. If you don't get both scuttles, you will still hit it after getting the first grub, however. Let's see. Any interesting choices on summoner spells or runes this game? Lethal Tempo on Nocturne is definitely an option. I'm not sure if I prefer that this game, because I'm not sure if he gets to have a lot of big, long trades later on in the game. However, early game, still quite strong. And no teleport also from the Zoe this game, so we do have a teleport. I was gonna say we have a teleport discrepancy, but it's mid lane versus top lane, because the Darius is also running Ghosts. Which might provide some interesting lane matchups later on with an Azir versus a Malphite, which definitely very Azir favored, having played a lot of Azir myself lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Malphite's just gonna be looking to throw out some Qs every now and then, but other than that, just staying safe, scaling up.
Yeah, I think the top lane is just Darius wants to catch out the Malphite and do something here. Potentially look to dive with them Nocturne at some point, maybe. But I think that's going to be very difficult. It could, however, happen with the jungles being opposite sides of the map. Having started, Nocturne having started on his red and Diana on his chicken. Bot lane, I think, is just going to mainly be a farm fest, though, with some minor trading. Though we saw a lot of action happens in the other
Good
games.
gank timer here, though. Minos just uses the portal. Tom might need a flash, yep.
Tom flash, that is a good trade. Good trade of summoners. Nocturne just looking to get the Scuttle Crab and potentially look to see if the chickens are up for the Diana. Would be a big get if he were to go for the chickens there.
Yeah, bit of a minor misstep by the bot lane of Bagpuss there. They were just stepping too far forward. That's kind of the dilemma with Caitlyn lanes. You always want to poke and be oppressive, but sometimes you can go too far.
Is that a solo kill from Gwynny, or does the Azir live? The Azir just barely lives.
Yeah, I wonder what his HP was there.
Yeah.
Perfect form instead,
Nocturne
getting first
dying
blood.
from the... Yeah, oh, sorry. Nocturne
That's
getting
right.
the first blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess they were just trying to contest the Krugs there, but
Yep.
can't do so
Jinx
alone.
Lulu Lane currently getting a little bit of priority after having burned the Caitlyn flash earlier on. Currently, just a small gold lead. Well, small. It's actually already 1k currently, but waves are bouncing. Mid lane's gonna get caught up. Probably gonna even out at about a 500-600 gold lead. He'll burn from the Lulu though. Flash burn now from the Bard. And just a small trade afterwards. Can't really keep going with not knowing where Nocturne currently is, probably depending on how the jungle tracking is. And the mana bar from the Jinx. The Nocturne here looking to do something to see if Sluggers Disciples bot lane does go aggressive, or if the Diana walks into him, which is looking to happen.
There we go.
Here.
Yeah.
Ooh, Diana just turns on the Bard though.
Can Nocturne just carry this though? Yeah. Gets a
I
kill.
think that the Zoe might be able to get a trade kill on the back first still though.
No, they'll just swarm her.
Yeah. Ooh, he does get the trade kill, but I think he still dies himself as well, because he burned his flash trying to get that solo kill earlier. Getting punished for the failed solo kill.
That's feats of strength to Bagpuss lovers too.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom! The barrier though.
A Hun popping off potentially?
Oh, he has a barrier of his own though. Beautiful.
The barrier diff. Oh, not
Yep.
barrier diff. Barrier timing diff, I should say.
Yeah,
The
no,
Hunt's, not the Hunt's entire barrier got used where Tom didn't end up being able to use his entire barrier. I think that was actually the difference maker there. Now a 700 gold lead on the Caitlyn, picking up 2 kills.
yeah, she's gonna have a great back here.
Two top lane here happening for the Darius and the Malphite. Malphite. I cannot speak. Diana picking up the kill on the Darius.
It's been a long day.
It sure has.
But yeah, that is definitely not the way you want it to go if you're Darius. You don't want to concede a kill to the Malphite when you're even bringing the bar up there. That's unfortunate.
Winnie getting ganked here. Dragon being a flip here. Let's see who can get it.
Oh!
And the Jinx with the rocket. Ooh. Maybe the ignite burns? No, it's the heal. It's the potion again.
Yes, no, what a lucky man.
That is a tilter right there. Having that happen twice is genuinely a tilter.
Definitely great for the red side to be able to stack these dragons early though, and definitely a little bit criminal, I would say. What just happened there?
Definitely. That was a lot of different things going on at once there. I would say that the red team Sluggers Disciples has slightly come out ahead just because they picked up the dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
Like only slightly.
Yeah, and I think we're really just seeing the identity of these two teams. They like to fight early, and they like to, try to get a lead for themselves. Even with this kind of slower draft, as you predicted, they still scrap.
Yeah, Bagpuss lovers having full priority on the grubs, and they're looking to just play for it. Potentially, with the Diana being bot side, either just looking to farm, or a very reasonable option here would also be to look to dive. Because they should have the information that, hey, Bard hasn't been here in a while, Grubs is up, supports like to roam. But, looks like they're not doing anything with that information. Not even invading any enemy camps here. And Bard just walking back, and the Caitlyn just getting away with it scot-free.
Yeah, you're totally right. I think for red side, it should have been pretty much 100% certain that they will get the grubs, the enemy team. So they should try to make a play, like, before it even happens.
I would like to point out that Diana has a very solid lead on camps, with the Nocturne having sat around quite a lot looking for opportunities, where the Diana has just kept busy. Even with the kill lead on the Nocturne, Diana is still up a little bit of gold, and currently, I would say, if I had to judge, about a level and a half. Because I expect the Leander's icon to pop up on the Nocturne. No, the Nocturne to hit level 7 here from his camp, yeah, is what I was going to say. Now, Diana is walking top. The Darius is looking fairly vulnerable with half health and the Malphite ulti being up. Diana is walking there.
Yeah, they can
but
definitely kill. Yep. Good word.
Good patience from the Darius here with the Malphite having his way frozen in front of his turret, still being patient.
Yeah, gotta be an awful feeling for Darius here. You're expected to just totally steamroll this lane, but it's getting frozen in your face.
Yep, by a plated steel caps Malphite. I had to think of what it's called again currently. I was gonna say Ninja Tab Eyes. Is what you get when you've played this game for... It's been 13 years now. God damn, I'm old.
Oh,
Malphite,
no.
big trade. Malphite's just getting priority in this matchup at this point.
Yeah, to be honest, I doubted the pick. I thought Perfect Form maybe should have played something a bit more aggressive, but he is playing aggressive on this very safe pick.
Yeah, Caitlyn ulti also getting completely eaten by the Lulu shields, ending up being fairly pointless. Good trade here from the Darius.
Oh,
Flashing
misclick
on the
has to be.
Yeah. By the way, did you get any response about the Sork shoes from last game?
Oh, I forgot to DM. It was such an insane game. I just totally forgot. We'll have to.
Understandable.
I don't want to message him. Well,
no, don't do it now.
No. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Minos uses the portal to get out.
Yeah. Dragon is coming up in less than a minute currently, 30 seconds even. And I would say that I would currently favor Sluggers Disciple on this objective. I think their champions are currently just stronger. I say that as Diana with her ulti. But the Caitlyn is fairly low, it doesn't have mana.
Yeah, but with Nocturne coming in, they can win this pretty easily, I would say. Yeah.
Absolutely. Missing that ulti was definitely not the one.
The Hunt's lethal tempo is fully stacked here, though. Can Nocturne just kill him? Yeah.
I think Nocturne just kills with the fear coming back up.
Well played by Anvil there. Coming in at the perfect moment and taking care of business. Let's see if they do get the dragon. They are very low, but they have some honeydew.
However, Zoe does have cryo. Malphite does have teleport up and did just... Yeah, is coming in with a teleport, so they are looking to contest, but then Diana is going to her red buff, so I think there might be some miscommunications happening.
Oh, fortunate ults, but they will take him down and cancel the dragon, so I think that will be Drake for red side. Mr.
Darius,
Clisty,
however, getting some free farm, but the Zoe getting a triple kill. I think there was some miscommunications happening here with the with Random Potato from the rest of his team. He could have either gone to Dragon right away or might have had to match top lane. But as it stands, Darius gets barely not 4 plates. Maybe gets the wave in time before the Malphite gets back. Yeah, I think he gets 4 plates here. That is a big gold swing back for the Darius after having suffered for a little bit. But on the flip side, Zoe getting 3 kills, getting that dragon, all quite important for Slugger Disciples.
Yeah, I think definitely a win for Slugger here. Oh, another fight. Minos just escaping that. 4.
Zoning them off, getting a kill here potentially. Does Jinx have ultimate? No, she does not.
Yeah, but going back to that play, Nocturne coming in and killing everybody, they are just so low. It feels like when you want to play, you should be able to, like, you have the right to the objective. but you just don't when you're that low HP.
First tower going over to Slugger's Disciple though, with the feet. Now it'll just come down to the neutral objectives, with Herald spawning relatively soon in less than a minute. That will put either team on 2 out of 3. I gotta say though, with the that chunk would have been very important had it hit with the dragon, with the Herald coming up. It looks like both teams are willing to absolutely scrap for this. Malphite, however, having to burn his ulti beforehand to get out. Nocturne ulting, potentially just through vision currently. So, Nocturne getting slapped by the Zoe. Zoe doing a lot of damage. Diana coming in with the ulti. And it is just free. This fight is just absolutely free for Sluggers Disciples. Zoe and Diana absolutely popping up and carrying that fight there. Top maybe getting killed on the flip side, on the backside here as well, but gets out with the jungle plant.
Yeah,
I by the Zoe, I think she's dead here. Yeah, even through the barrier there.
Oh, wow.
Big from Gwynny there.
Yeah, Sluggers
Gwynny playing
Disciples.
really well this game.
Yeah, I think all of them are. Just
Absolutely.
a few misplays. I think Bagpuss lovers were really planning on getting some more prio in the bot lane as well as the top lane, but they've been able to kind of neutralize pretty well. And now Snow is taken down in the side lane after getting a tower. Or
The shutdown.
showing his prowess on the Azir, beautiful.
The Zir knockup buying enough time for Zir to get his last autos in, but also with the damage from the Azir wall. On the other side, Darius getting picked off after getting top turret. Azir has hit his first item as well, Nashor's Tooth, now looking to get Leandry's second item. Not sure if I'm a big fan of this Leandry's second buy here this game, considering there's only the Malphite being a big tank. And Malphite wanting to itemize into armor, especially for the rest of this game. Anyways.
Okay, Nocturne is here.
To get 2 kills, 2 for 1
Yep.
there.
But look at how hard Jinx and Lulu are winning just on their own. They have no help whatsoever, but 2v2 they are just winning. Nocturne was able to come in there and save the play, but still.
Yeah. I'm feeling this game inch further and further towards Slugger's Disciple. Just the momentum feels on their side.
Yeah. They're coming in for revenge after that last game that was robbed away from them.
Yeah. And like I said during draft as well, side lane's very neutral, and it just feels like it comes down to the mid jungle plays, especially early game from the the mid jungle 2v2 being very game deciding, which does feel that way so far.
Yeah, I mean I think oh, Minos gonna get taken down here probably.
Minos getting instantly burnt down. Nocturne getting swept by the Zoe. Zoe missing her Q. Trading back a little bit of health, but that goes into the shield mainly. Zoe using her W. Big trade on the Caitlyn. They might be able to use this pressure to leverage it into something else as well afterwards. Either some Dragon Vision, that's coming up in 30 seconds. Maybe some turret health. Maybe I was going to say a Zoe kill onto the Caitlyn. And there it is.
Beautifully played.
Gwynny just putting the team on his back, it feels like, currently. That should just be a dragon for Sluggers Disciples, presumably. And they're also being able to push for the mid lane tier 2. They're trying to catch out the Malphite, but the Malphite just ulted safety. Tier 2s are trying to respond to this. Meanwhile, the Jinx and Zoe are walking out, while the rest of this team are doing the dragon.
Yeah, they conceded too many objectives, and now they're just on the back foot so hard.
Yeah, and a lot of picks as well. A lot of different things just going on. I think the map movement's currently just being done very well by Sluggers Disciples, and once again, it just feels like Gwynny's kind of just putting it on his back currently, where everyone else has been very stable. Good but stable, I should say. Not much to going on for the next little bit. The Octagon is coming up
Oh,
here.
can you ulti there? Yeah. Nice by Mr. Clisty.
Mr. Clisty
We'll get
does,
taken out.
however, get traded. Does, however, get the shutdown on the Zoe. The
Oh, this
Hunt's flashing
bait.
on Tom here.
It is a bait. Will it work out? They have Lulu ult. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the Hunt is just dead here. That might actually just turn into Octagon for Bagpuss lovers.
That was great. Just punishing the aggression that the Hunt has been showing all game.
Perfect form ulting it onto Snow, trying to bait him, bait some time for the Dan to come pick up a side lane kill, but Bagpuss lovers taking mid lane tier 1. And very potentially looking at tier 2 here. Snow does end up getting picked up on the side. With the health bars I'm looking at currently, it might be Sluggers Disciples' turn to look at the Octagon here.
Exactly. They have so much prio and the tempo on their side here. So I think they can just get it.
On their side right now.
Yeah.
Just depends if they can do it fast enough before anyone shows up. Like, it looks like it's more than fine.
Yeah. Maybe a bit greedy going for that tier 2 tower in the mid lane.
It depends on how much we the teams value the Octagon. Do you value the tier 2 mid lane more, or do you value the Octagon more? I typically think that tier 2 mid lane is not as important as any tier 1 turret, and the Octagon does currently give quite a lot of experience and adaptive force as well.
Yeah,
With,
I think
the heavy
it's very good.
Yeah, with the heavy damage comp that Sluggers Disciple has as well, I think that Octagon does actually matter here this game. Snow just side laning with the Azir, having a big CS lead on the Zoe, actually evening up the gold because of it. Second item's coming in for most players here now as well. No, not a lot of, I wouldn't say a whole lot of interesting choices. I would say maybe the most interesting choice is the Malphite going double armor item when he's probably got to end up side laning versus the Azir quite a lot just because of teleports. But for the rest of the team, a very understandable choice. And the other interesting choice, which I mentioned, is I think the Leandri for the Azir is not the Hunt being very aggressive and getting potentially got out here because of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Diana coming in on the backside with the ulti.
I think Darius can
has
carry
to
hard here. Yeah.
Darius and Azir both. Just the aggression from the Hunt is feels like it's a bit too much. He's a little too solo queue still for now from the Hunt.
Yeah, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, right? You see the amazing pressure he's about to, or he's able to put out, but also sometimes getting caught, like he has been throughout the whole series, unfortunately.
It is just about finding that line. Like, where's the edge case? How do we pump as much damage as we can, but still stay alive? Because staying alive is more damage than being dead.
Yeah, I definitely
Death
think
is the most permanent CC.
he has been steering too much in the dying direction, but we'll see if he can pick it back up. Mr. Clisty, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, the rest of his team still, the rest of the Hunt's team currently picking up for the slack of the getting caught out for the aggression, though. This feels like he isn't keeping in mind that he is playing against a Nocturne and getting punished for it.
Yeah, also maybe feeling like he has to kind of 1v9 this game with the draft they've got going.
I mean, I wouldn't say he has to 1v9 here, honestly. Especially in the earlier game phases of the game, the Zoe and the Diana just still do so much here that it's like completely unnecessary, in my opinion.
Yep, Soul here though. We'll see who picks it up.
Yeah. That is Soul for Sluggers Disciples. quite large.
Yeah,
I would
super
say that.
easy for them just because Mr. Clisty was dead and just now coming back, and they could just set up a
Yeah.
reason.
Good time another trade in Zoe.
Oh,
With
this
the,
is
with the W pickup from the Flash. Managing to set up for 2 kills here, maybe even more.
yeah.
Just Winnie putting the team on his back, it feels like, just making the plays actually happen.
Yeah.
People following up very well, but the plays are just being made by Gwynny, and like you said, put him on a playmaker. And the Zoe is a champion he's very comfortable with. Hitting the sleep again. I think that is just another dead bar. I think that might just be inhib turret here, with the respawn timers.
Yeah, now they should be resetting. Oh, really? They do go for inhib. I'm not sure that I would do that.
It is just the Caitlyn for now.
Yeah.
I would say just take the inhib turret here and leave the actual inhibitor up. The hunt being pretty aggressive again. Yeah, and they do make the decision to just back
Smart.
out after taking the turret. Like you saw last game, leaving taking an inhibitor too early does provide a lot of golden experience for the team that lost said inhibitor. Yes, it provides some pressure for your team potentially, especially with it being all the way on the other side of the Baron. But with the TPs still being coming up for the Azir, I don't think that would have been a huge problem. So I think this is definitely a smart decision.
Yeah, but
Also
I mean,
with the respawn timers as well.
I think now they're kind of wasting their time a little bit here. I think what they should be doing is setting up for Baron, but instead the Hunt just gets caught up by Nocturne. He's alone in the jungle on Vision.
Yeah.
Oh. The Hunt.
What you get for, as they say, dilly-dallying around a little bit too much.
Yeah, he has these big rocks on his
lands
team,
right
literally.
Yeah, literally, rock getting sent into the enemy team by his teammate. The Diana trying to absolutely carry fight here still, but it's, the numbers disadvantage is a little bit big now, and not being able to lend as much focus as you would have wanted beforehand with the strength of the Zoe currently.
I mean, Bagpuss lovers will take this any day of the week. They were in such a horrible position before this, and now they take down perfect form as well and get the inhib.
A big shutdown on the Caitlyn as well. The Caitlyn gets a 1.1k gold there, if I saw correctly.
Yeah, to me, if Red Team was able to reset, use up the gold, there we go, there we can see the gold. Look at how it's
Going
swinging.
all the way back again.
Yeah, if they were able to buy the items with the gold they'd received from that bot lane play and just set up for the Baron, it would have been basically unlosable. But now instead they got caught out and they given an inhib, and now it's more 50-50.
And now you're starting to see the Azir and Caitlyn scaling coming in as well, because I'm assuming that Caitlyn's about to hit 3 items here. Azir's got to be close as well. Azir's not a little further off, but Caitlyn, yeah. No, there it is coming in. Both their main carries getting 3rd item, and both of them very big for both champions as well.
Yeah, but a great props to Anvil. He's been able to get picks on the Hunt.
Oh, absolutely. He is actually absolutely
Another
taking
pick
advantage
there.
of
Maybe
the
going too
Hunt's
far?
positioning.
Oh, no, he's going just enough and gets him taken down. I think they'll be able to win this fight, right? Oh,
Big from
Diana though.
Big from Diana. Gwynny nearly
They can
dying
end.
on the
They can
backside.
end.
They can end.
Wow.
What a sudden turn. What
Yeah.
a sudden turn.
Oh.
It was looking like it was all in the bag for Sluggers Disciples, honestly, but it's being pulled back. Maybe Gwynny can defend though.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it is unlikely with both the turret damage of both Azir and Caitlyn.
oh no, they have to back off. Wow.
Gwynny defending. Are we back to game 2 states?
I mean, I think even if Bagpuss lovers win this, Gwynny is absolutely a candidate for MVP.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and especially if Sluggers win this, yeah, I mean, I'd give it to them.
Yeah. So far, I would be tempted to give it to Gwynny personally. Either way, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it's super solid performance in all 3 games. Snow's also
Okay.
been super solid though. Tom's been doing Tom things. Darius, after having a bit of a rough early game as well, providing a lot of use here with the on the Darius against the Malphite and the Diana. Sluggers and
What is
Cycles
happening?
trying to burst down the Baron, which I'm assuming Bagpuss lovers did not expect. Ward buying a little bit of time with his ulti, but they do get the Baron. And let's see if they can actually get out. Looks like they're having to sacrifice
Nocturne.
to get out, and Nocturne trying to backdoor.
Yep. I guess that's what they've been trying.
Gold shutdown.
But it will just be a free Baron. I have to question what Bagpuss lovers were doing there. They're not even trying to go for it.
I would not call it free, because when
Yeah,
did
okay,
end up dying,
look at this. Yeah.
1.1k gold lead shutdown given again.
Definitely not free, but I think... I mean, them even getting it is kind of criminal. Although Elder is up now, and they're fighting.
I think this fight looks incredibly rough now with the way that started on the Hunt, but the Hunt does get the
Gets a
DPS
reset.
here now.
Yeah.
Nice W onto Mr. Felicity, but it's not enough. Oh, the Arcane Comet. And it's Nocturne backdooring. I think this is just, I think he just gets the end here. I think that is game. The actual sudden turnaround. I love the attempt still to try and get the Baron and try and do something with it, but then having 3 people get caught out afterwards is, that is just game deciding. Bagpuss lovers actually pulling it out in the end. I did not see that coming with the way 2 of those games went, and even at some point the way the second game went. I did not expect this.
Hey, all I'm saying is, my prediction. Check the VOD before the games. Bagpuss lovers, baby. I think they played extremely well. They were like really resourceful, I think. Like punishing the mistakes of Sluggers disciples. I think game 1.
I think both teams were incredibly resourceful, trying to do what they could, even in the down situations, and managing to pull back a whole lot of situations that were not looking good in the first place for either team.
Yeah, I think game 1, Sluggers disciples, they were relentless, almost no mistakes. They played beautifully. I mean, it looked like that was just going to continue on for the whole series, but it did not, and we got that absolute banger of a game on game 2.
We got the reverse sweep.
Yeah, and you know a lot about those kinds of games, right, Che?
Don't remind me. Stop it. It is trauma. I do not want it.
All right.
We are getting an interview with with some of the team members that just played. Let's see who is wanting to come in and join us. Hello, Snow. How do you feel about winning there? And also, what a performance game 2 on the Zed. Big. Snow, are you there?
We cannot hear you, Snow.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, he's just like, the gameplay speaks for itself, guys. I don't need to say anything.
You saw my Zed. Why are you asking questions? Let's give him a minute, see if he gets his audio sorted. If this was how the entire game went without any communication, props to the rest of his team for managing to play with that handicap.
There he is.
Wait, they just got dragged down. Oh
There
shit!
we go.
I'm sorry, I was in the toilet.
No problem, bro. It's good, Snow.
Hello. Are you proud of me?
I am very proud.
My captain too.
Of course. And now you're a captain of your own. What I want to ask you, number 1 is, what were the comms like in game 2? Was it just like complete chaos, or were you?
The comms was chaotic every team fight. Otherwise, it was fine. I think the most chaotic was at the end when we hit the cocoon on Aphelios and we just like one shot him.
Yeah.
We're just like screaming around and I don't know.
Tuba, Gwynny,
That's
Gwynny
cool.
would like to come in as well. Okay. Yeah, what I gotta say though, against Snow, what a performance game 2 on the Zed. That was the big.
Thank
You
you.
especially with the split pushing as well, getting picks consistently. You definitely pulled a lot out of the bag that game.
Thank you. Yeah, that was, I think, early game that was more like top looking like. We didn't look at the mid lane. We had to like fed the top laners a lot, and I just got ahead of Greenie. And I was like, yeah, just play for me. Just try something. Just come mid. Just I don't know, play for me.
Just play for me. Nah, understandable. Did you was the split pushing in game 2 a very was it happenstance or was it an idea somebody came up with like, hey, we have kind of bad siege, the only way we can take turrets is side laning, trying to pick up turrets elsewhere while
I think
things are
because we have
going
one
on.
TP, well, like, okay, you can go split push. I can as well because I have like dash and stuff.
Mhm.
Very low CD, so I can join team fights, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
We're trying to like get some area on the map.
How did the panic attack during game 2 also feel? Nearly throwing it like twice.
When we lost Elder, I think that was like, well, like a bit scary about the game, and it didn't end. So we're like, okay, let's focus up.
I was so
Let's throw another
convinced
one.
when sorry for interrupting. I was so convinced when they pushed tier 2 when they were pushing top after Elder that game was just over at that point and they pulled it back, but you guys still managed to pull it back again. And big props
Say
for that.
that was a, let's say, a team diff. Calm. That was a okay. No, it was not a team diff. That's toxic. That was very well played to both team. This Aphelios guy was like,
Yeah.
he's so annoying. He's so good.
I want to ask, it felt like you were playing both game 2 and 3, you were kind of playing almost like just completely focused on the hunt, the enemy AD carry. Was that like some prep you did coming in, or did it just kind of shape up that way?
I think my jungler just said, yeah, let's fuck this Jinx. Let's not let her play, and yeah, that's it. Oh, that was the call. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the second game, when you pick Aphelios, I had like it said open. So I was like, just pick me Zed and just run it down this guy. That's pretty much it.
Just dog him down on the Aphelios. Make sure he can't play the
I know
game.
he's good. He's very good.
And then
on
he still
Aphelios,
got to
I
play the
saw
game.
that. Yeah, it's a very good player. Very good OTP, I guess.
But yeah, maybe we should get into the MVP conversation. What do you guys think? Snow, who do you think the MVP is?
Nasty.
Hmm.
I think game 1 was a bit hard, let's say. Game 2, like the difference was like crazy. Maybe the jungler, Elise was very good as well.
Phil just did
a lot
have
of-
2 very solid games.
He catch up like pretty much everyone with a Cocoon. I think Elfigus was a MVP this game. He played very well every game, in my opinion.
Agree.
Very true. Welcome, Gwyn. Gwyn, who is your MVP this series?
Wait, can I vote for enemy team or not? Or can I vote for ally team? Do I have to?
Oh wait, can we do that, or just our team?
I don't see why we wouldn't be able to pick either team, honestly.
I put Guini.
I was going to pick you because you're just.
I was gonna pick you. You were
I don't know what you're thinking half the time. The way
Alright, guys, stop being so
I
nice.
was walking into lane, right, and I was like, okay, I hit the vision trinket, the vision. He's not in that bush. He's in the other bush next to blue buff. I'm like, oh my god, I got so like.
Zoe was so annoying to play against.
Oh.
Lane to the entire game was not.
Yeah, Zoe's a stupid champ, man. I don't know.
The entire game, we're like, this champion. What is this?
You lived with like 2 HP. I was like, okay, I've got a first blood, and then you like somehow lived with shield or potion. I don't know, and I was like, oh
I had
god.
2 seconds, 1 second on my W,
And then it happened again later. Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is admirable how much respect you guys have for each other, you know?
Snow lived on the because of a potion, if I remember correctly, twice.
Yeah.
Potion
Like,
and
that's gotta be a
WE.
filter.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
you don't have
Smart, man.
biscuits, how? And I was like, damn, potions OP, man. Like crazy.
I
These
think I
games
live
were
on
so good though.
7 HP.
We made loads of silly mistakes, but like they were such fun games. Like
I was not expecting the second game to be like 15 minutes, right? Yeah, 15
yeah,
minutes.
right. That's
No,
and I picked the champ. I picked Mel because I thought you guys were gonna pick it, and I was like, I don't know what this champ does. I just kept
The
pressing
plan-
W at the wrong time. I think I don't know.
the plan
Yeah, you
was
did
if
miss
he's
a lot
picking
of
Aphelios, we pick Mel. You
Yeah.
pick Mel, we're like, okay, what are we picking? I don't know.
Oh. They were good games though.
Would absolutely agree. Gallant, who would you say is your MVP of this series?
Oh, wow. That is very hard question considering everybody made mistakes and everybody made at least one great play. It just ping ponged that hard, I think. But I think in the end, I'm gonna have to give it to Snow. I think he was the difference maker in game 2. Without him, it would never have been possible. He carried the early game, and he also picked off Aphelios in the late game. And I think he was just such a great addition in game 3 with the Azir. I don't know if he was to carry that game, but he played incredibly well. What do you think, Shay?
I'm a bit mixed between Filges and Gwynny. I think Gwynny had such a solid performance all 3 games.
It's because you saw a crush on me. That's why.
No. No, Gwen, no.
I'm a Zoe player, Uwu. You know, you gotta like me.
Gwyn, I like e-girls and alt baddies, not...
Hey, at some point you guys are calling me she, so I'm technically an ego now.
That was...
Yeah, my bad.
But no, I think just because of the winning team, I've got to give it to Filges, but it's very close to me.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap things up for the stream, guys. Thank you guys for playing. It was really nice. Also, thank you for the interviews. Unless someone has anything specific to add, still.
Nah, thank you for casting. It was fun games.
That's nice. That's nice.
Wait, do we get to play against the same team again later on or not? Is it just one time?
It is a
depends if,
single
we
round
get-
robin into playoffs.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll see you next time, Snow. I'm gonna beat you next time.
Yeah.
Ooh, got a little bit of a
Let's go.
rivalry
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Maybe,
you gotta
maybe we'll
step
see.
up on this Yone. The Yone
Yeah,
speed was
well,
fucking
you know.
dog shit.
We'll see, we'll see.
And your jungler is very good. Like,
Yeah, right?
I wasn't expecting the Diana pick. I was expecting the Udyr pick. To be honest.
Well, we picked it because I think I don't even know why we picked Diana. I think we picked it 'cause before you guys were gonna pick it or something. But I
was
can't
about
remember
to
the
ban
thought
Diana.
process.
I was about
Oh,
to ban
okay.
Diana, to be honest.
But yeah, I think that's it.
GG. We'll see if
GG.
we make the top 4 together and gonna face each other again.
Yeah, I
We'll
mean,
see.
I want another series with these two teams. I'll say that much.
Let's make it a 60-minute game. Let's go even further. You know.
Oh, hold on. My jungler has to go. We had like to finish early.
Let's see. You guys have set all the records for the shortest and the longest game. You know, being the first series.
True.
That's pretty good.
Let's see let's see if you can keep the longest game going as well, and maybe even the most kills one, because 97 kills is a lot.
Oh, that's very crazy.
Top kills
Thanks for
20 as
casting.
well on the Zed.
Yeah.
28.
You're welcome, and you guys, thanks for playing, and GG's to everyone.
GG 07.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go.
See ya.
So yeah,
Thanks for casting. See ya.
I think tomorrow we have another bracket game. It is RAR versus Sigma tomorrow at 7 p.m. I think that is BST. Let me just confirm for sure. Yes, it is. Okay. Yeah, 7 p.m. BST tomorrow, RAR versus Sigma, and Tuba and Day Zero will be casting those games for you guys tomorrow. For us today, I think that's it, unless Gallant, do you have anything else you want to say and get off your chest here?
no, that was great fun. I think the series sets the precedent for Fearless.
Yeah.
Stay fearless.
Thanks everybody for watching, and see you guys next time.